Welcome, once again, to Clinical Theurgy, episode 50. Halfway to triple digits. This is actually a pretty big accomplishment. You are all level 6, right? 6?
Yes, totally.
All challenges should be made accordingly.
That means if we die, we're not dead. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Hey John, how come you got like bars on the side of your thing, like you're like being recorded by a TI-86? What's up with your cam?
Because he doesn't want us to see his buckets.
Yeah, John wants us to watch him at 480.
Yeah, so we got to see his ass at 480.
CRT television.
Hell yeah. This is what I've dealt with, alright?
There are so many things wrong with my style guide right now. It is hurting severely.
I can turn on OBS for you, just for you.
Thank you.
Are we gonna get to see the buckets?
Not for me. Ryan, stop breaking my style guide.
I'm styling on him.
You should not see it.
Yeah, I shouldn't tell people I have a style guide. This is what happens.
A style guide is such a vague thing, though. It's like you could say you have a style guide, but
yeah, but I have very specific things. They don't normally normally affect players too much. It normally affects everything externally. But
yeah, but I mean, like, it's just saying that isn't enough for us to know exactly what's going to.
That just means you keep trying things until you figure out what you're doing to break my style guide.
Good idea.
There, bar's gone.
Thank you. I appreciate that
and
so
I still
much.
don't see any buckets, so you're good.
Yeah.
I know, I fixed it with OBS Virtual Cam.
All right.
Oh, fancy.
So,
are
we going to talk about the game, or are we going to talk about my style guide? Because I'm happy to explain my style guide real quick.
I can
if anybody
simulate
wants to go over
earthquakes
it.
if there's any in game. I can be
John, you're violating my style guide.
Oh, okay.
So last time,
whoa, what is that?
Ryan, you're violating my style guide.
Oh, my bad, dog.
Orangeness.
It looks like one of those old portrait studio effects, like that they.
It does.
It's my really cheap light that I got.
Jesus, Ryan's more streamer than most of us.
I mean, he has a green screen. He has like colored lighting. He's 50% more than me.
That I don't need anymore. Yeah, well, I'm gonna become a VTuber next, so.
Yes.
I don't even know what that is.
You should look it up.
I don't want to know what that is now. I'll pass.
It's actually
very
not.
Yeah.
Not entirely, no.
All right, so last time
thing with the lights.
We finished looking through the asylum.
Just killed everything. Everything's dead. Nothing fought back. I mean, nothing proclaimed any legal things and shenanigans.
Well, before we got there, we went to the second floor, and then we found some machines there torturing people. And gas started filling the room with an acid cloud, so Ivy Dimension doored us out. We came out to 2 dragon-like guards. We disarmed one, and he ran. And then the one that we disarmed ran. The other one surrendered. We handed him over to the guards. We went to the 3rd floor, tried to look inside. It was very dark, and there was like some whispers trying to confuse us, but we were more willful than that. We went to the 4th floor, and in there was
willful or just really unperceptive that you can't even hear them.
True.
That has played to my favor so many times in this campaign. I'm literally so unperceptive. I'm not affected by things because I just don't even notice it. I love it.
So then we went to the 4th floor, and that was a room full of dragons. We met Toxini, this big green dragon. We did try to talk to them, try to resolve it peacefully, but inevitably they were not having that. They kept trying to use legal jargon on us. So we fought them. Antaeus briefly got possessed by a magic jar, but we were able to, or I think he was able to, like, break out of it. As we're fighting, Niev died, but Goron used Breath of Life to revive her. Eventually, after we had whittled down most of the forces, Toxini surrendered, but won't call off the others even when we asked her to, or him. I don't know. I don't want to assume their gender. Him? Them? Oh, cool.
Them, they.
Yeah, Zurzim, that's the one.
Zurzim, great.
I like that one.
But they won't call off the others. The 2 guards that were behind Toxini basically took out their blades and committed seppuku by shoving it up through their mouth. The casters continued fighting. They were picking on basically Goron and I, and they kept like knocking people down or knocking people out, and so Ivy went to take care of one of the casters. Toxini declared that they were defending their children and attacked Ivy. We managed to kill both casters, and Toxini knelt before us.
Nice. Good recap. That is where we will get started. I just got a message I need to make sure is not terrible.
Heard Toxini is a little bitch.
Toxini is not a little bitch. So, a quick and important note, since it came up in your recap there. In the world, the gender-neutral pronoun is E. E, M, im. These are... E, er, im. These are, like, typically used for literally anyone. You can use it as a replacement for he or she, even if you know the person's gender. It is an easy way to It is an easier way to communicate a pronoun, though most people do prefer speaking in proper nouns. But usually the people requesting that are very arrogant.
So is it like just the letter E?
The letter E. Yep.
Okay.
Like a capital E as opposed to a capital I.
Okay.
And then like air is ER, and then M is EM.
Alright. I'm making a note. Alright.
But yeah, you have Toxini here in... This is not cool. It's also not... Did you guys move to the...
Yeah.
Other display? Because the camera didn't.
Yeah, we there.
Yep.
What? I didn't change the heat at all. Oh, this is fantastic. I don't know what hell I'm in right now, but I would like to opt out of it at all costs. Oh no. Is this really a thing? Hold, please.
Holding. I guess we kind of have a moment as the party together. And were you guys all comfortable with what we've done here? I think we tried to save as many as we could. Except for, it seemed like you needlessly killed those other casters, but...
They were going
needlessly,
to
they were killing
you.
us. Yeah, they were not surrendering.
But
Would
we
you
could
have
have
rather
knocked them
died?
out. No, we had the situation under control.
We did not have the situation under control. Both of you nearly died multiple times.
In case you haven't noticed, I use bombs. Not necessarily a bludgeoning weapon that knocks people out.
I can't control what Hunter does, but I don't really have the capability to just knock people out.
Same.
I'm not judging you for doing what you deem necessary. I'm just saying.
Well, plus they stood against us, so it's their fault if they die anyway.
We asked for them to surrender. They did not.
I know.
We're not killing Toxini. So I think that's...
I'm just making notes for future encounters. There were these large pillars here that you could have taken cover behind to avoid the magic missile spam. Because he still needs to see you to shoot them. Can't just target you behind things.
They can move as well, correct?
They could move, yes, but it would have been inefficient and they would have provoked attacks of opportunity from Ivy and she would have had an easier time knocking them out.
Well, I'm sure Goron will be willing to ride
It's me testing. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm just like...
It turns out also that if you have Roll20 covered up by another window, it won't capture what's going on Roll20. So I had to restack all of my windows and once again reorient everything because why not make this even more complicated for me? All right, carry on. Sorry. I apologize for killing immersion there.
It's okay.
No, I'm mostly just buying time for you.
I'm sure Goron will be more than happy to write a full report as to why he didn't tell us to do that.
I did tell you to do that, and you didn't listen. I told everyone multiple times.
I don't remember you saying that.
I said take cover behind the pillar.
Maybe I was dead on the floor when you were saying that. I don't remember you saying it.
No. I said it. The battle. It was hard to comprehend
Regardless,
everything.
we were authorized to use any force necessary.
No,
yes, but I answer to a higher power.
Wasn't that a slogan for something?
I don't know.
That's Hebrew National.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. Hot dogs.
I didn't know that. I would like to retract that. I answer to a Krasgron power. I'm just saying.
Would that be a lower power since underground?
Not hierarchically, but physically, maybe.
Well, yes, because if it was based on hierarchy, he would be lower on the totem pole than the other gods because he's not as well known. Only because he's not as well known is what I mean. And because they draw their power from their followers, then his power isn't as strong because people don't know about him as much yet.
Is that confirmed? Is that confirmed that they draw power directly from their followers?
That is 100% confirmed. The more followers you are, the more powerful a deity you tend to be.
Exactly.
Is losing power because she's losing followers because she's not there.
That is one of the reasons. One of the things you actually know is one of the most disappointing things about you choosing to change faiths is Moirin knows that that based on where you were at in terms of your skill, that is a big hit for Sascha.
It's okay, Sascha will always have Ra.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I die, I'll die in the name of Sascha. So, I mean, doesn't that count for something?
It does technically count for something.
See, I mean, there's...
I don't know where all these voices are coming from our characters. But, yes, Antaeus, I'm trying to rectify that matter. Once people know of Krasgron's greatness, they will flock to his chapels, and the church I will create will be magnificent.
Well, it would be good to have another good deity out there. There seems to be a lot of, evil ones that run into us anyways.
Yes. The world could use more.
Yes, that mistress person seemed very nice.
No, not. I mean, not to speak ill of her. She's doing her own thing. Just not for me.
I wouldn't necessarily call her evil, though. She's probably more neutral.
Yes, probably more neutral, but just not the deity for me.
That makes sense.
Are we gonna continue to stand here and listen to the four of you bicker amongst each other about your petty life squabbles? Or am I gonna be arrested proper and brought to justice? Or whatever you're calling justice.
Your deities, then you're more than welcome to.
I'll go. Should I go?
Oh, would you like to know about my deities?
Yes.
Yeah, actually.
Serious question? Because yes, absolutely.
No, I don't.
Unless I poke in his head, is he going to invoke learning about the deity's attack or something?
The deities that brought us here?
Can I just go get the guards, please?
The guards can't move me.
Yeah.
I want a protected escort.
We are your escort. Can't you, I don't know, shrink a bit into like a human-ish person?
No.
Oh. Thought...
Oh, that's not a universal ability amongst you.
We had rumors Pyre did that. Or did we see him do that?
We
Some do
saw
that.
Pyre do that.
Yeah, we saw Pyre do it. I thought you
What
could...
one can do is not what all can do. Besides, why would I want to be smaller?
To be fair,
Right.
though, there isn't much
easier for
information
you.
about your kind out, so it would be hard for us to know that.
Everyone else we've arrested in here, the guards have been just sufficient for. Why should you be any different?
Because I could easily eat the guards, and you must take into consideration the threat you are posing to the guards if they escort me
Okay,
out.
so I'll have the guards with me right behind you, and if you start trying to eat one, I'll stab your ass.
I'm sorry, am I being arrested by the city or by the ministry? Because if I'm being arrested by the city, then I am going to invoke the laws which I helped have written in the
It's
city.
not a big deal. We are... we will escort you. It's fine.
Good. Now, how are you getting me out of here?
I mean,
Can
how do
all of you
normally get out of
fly?
here? No.
My only way in and out of here is to fly.
Can I?
I can temporarily fly for a few
Okay.
moments.
When they say that, I'm gonna look up and look at the ceiling.
There is an area of the ceiling where you can see that there are like trapdoors that could open up. Very massive trapdoors.
Does anyone have the ability to just like shrink them? Can we just shrink you?
I'm not a human, and you all weren't doing things of any sort of power I would expect to be able to shrink something like me.
I can't fly today.
I don't know what, you know.
You can fly,
magic is
but
to shrink
I don't-
them.
It's okay.
Clearly, you are not nearly as good as you thought you were.
Excuse me, bested your ass.
One must prepare themselves for what they plan on doing each day, and carrying out a dragon was not one of them.
Well, sounds like it
mean-
sucks to be all of you.
I can probably just dimension
Well-
door us all out of here.
Oh, you think you can lift me?
Almost as much as it sucks to have somebody come in and
Maybe.
arrest you.
Because I weigh at least a few tons,
Is
and
dimension
I am not
door-
your size.
I don't think dimension door has a weight, excuse me. It just says willing creatures touched.
Hold
I
on.
think it's similar to teleport.
Hold
Oh, is
on.
it?
We will go over this real quick. Dimension door specifically says...
Oh yeah, you cannot. It does not exceed your maximum load. Sorry, I do see
All
that
you need
now.
to
It
do is
also
be able to
says
fight
you
the
may,
dragon.
you may also bring one additional willing medium or smaller creature, or its equivalent per 3 cast levels. A large creature counts as 2 medium creatures. A huge creature counts as 2 large creatures, or
I mean,
4
but-
medium creatures.
Theoretically, I could dimension door me and him if it didn't exceed my max load, which it probably does.
It's also a large creature.
It's no, he's a size huge creature first and foremost. So
Oh,
what is the
sorry.
maximum number of people you can teleport?
Okay, let's see. Look
Where's the
here.
little thing?
Yeah, small creature. It says you untouched willing creatures. Doesn't
One
say up
additional per 3 cast levels. So you cannot teleport. You can't even teleport him out.
here. Okay. Yeah, 'cause
because
it'd
he counts as
be-
4 people.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Well, it was worth a thought.
See, you don't even know how to use your own magics. You
Look, this is new magic for me.
Oh
okay?
my
I'm still
God,
getting the logistics
new.
of it down.
I cannot believe I was bested by the likes of the newbie squad from the ministry.
A newbie squad. We just get new things every once in a while.
So
Sometimes it
very
takes
lucky.
using it a few
Mhm.
times.
What kind of shitty wizard are you?
Lucky my ass. I'm not a wizard.
What do you mean you're not a wizard?
I'm not a wizard.
There are wizards and there are clerics.
There's a lot more than just a wizard or a cleric.
Nonsense.
What would you call me?
Oh, your druidish types don't count as spellcasters.
Ooh.
You spend most of your time pretending to be an animal. I'm surprised you aren't a dog half the time.
Good one.
The weird thing is, what is this one here that was throwing potions at people?
He's
You
our
don't
potions
know.
master.
How do you not know of these things? I thought you were ancient creatures.
I would say that the answer is in the question.
Yeah, well, you were clearly not hidden away all these years. You must have been around and seen people this similar.
No, the sad thing is that all of my intel, unless I very specifically take extra effort to make myself known to people, has to come from those who I have created.
I see.
And they only give me the information I ask about, and so I tend to miss some tidbits here. So what is this? Some wizard that has a sword?
We're still standing in this room while the
I'm basically a wizard with a sword. Sure. Can I just turn us all into gases and get out of here?
Sure. You can turn me into a gas.
Will we have a way of stopping you from just floating away from us?
I don't know.
I'm gonna start ignoring him and then just start walking over to the machine over here.
Which machine?
The one over to near the south end of the map.
Okay.
Do we have any?
Yeah, there's a terminal there.
Yeah, when they start talking, I'm just gonna. I'm very tired of listening to them because they're just talking and talking and talking and.
I'll ask you I'll get a use magic device from you in a moment. Go ahead.
If I turn him into a gas, could I put him in a potion bottle?
I mean, he would have to choose to do that.
Can you dismiss the spell, Ivy?
How do I tell if it's dismissible?
As a D after the duration.
Yes,
it is dismissible.
Can't we send the guards to go get somebody that could do something about this?
We're probably the strongest people here.
I could fly out of here if you'd like.
No. Why don't you just voluntarily turn to a gas? You'll go into a bottle for a few moments and we'll carry you out and then you can come out of the bottle and come out.
I don't know if you understand certain things, but that is cruel and unusual punishment.
What?
And so I'm not obligated to abide.
Why is that cruel?
It's not cruel and unusual punishment if you agree to it and it doesn't harm you.
It's harmless, and it'll be for literally a minute or two.
I cannot confirm that is going to be the case. And it violates my religious ideology.
What? What religious ideology?
Why don't you go bake a cake about it?
Well, you see, as long as I have a reason, you of all people should know I don't have to follow it. Mr. Potion Tosser.
Yes.
Give me a UMD while you are working with that machine.
Actually, before I start fiddling around with it, can I do that?
Sure.
I don't know if it's going to matter much, but... Did I click it? Oh, I think I alt-tabbed before I could click it. Oh.
Very good.
Beautiful.
Roll your... Yeah. So you can access it, and it is treating you like one of the creatures. Give me a spellcraft check.
Ooh, I have another solution for this.
Yeah. You have access to the local area Arcana net. What do you want to know about the building?
I'm gonna start trying to learn how this thing works, messing around with very small things at first, unless it wants to give me information about what the hell this head is.
So you need to know what that thing is because that is classified as something specific. But you see, it is currently at 100% efficiency.
I'll just start messing around with very small things that'll make incremental changes that I can try to observe to some degree.
Give me a knowledge arcana check.
Arcana tech?
Yes. Even better. Very good time to do that. Roll me the extra d6 as well, since you have your cognition on. Wow.
45, huh? I've been storing up all my good karma for today.
Yeah, so you can easily kind of play around with the functions of this entire room with relative ease. These terminals actually turn out to be the more relevant terminals. As the kobolds seem to have higher level system controls than the other creatures did. You will know that this device is filled with souls. This is basically a repurposed component. They have found a different way, as opposed to having a large gem. They have found a way to sort of reproduce the elements required to harbor souls by giving them a home which allows them to feel like they're still in their bodies. So within this, they are all neurally connected. That is why there's a large brain fragment here. This is one massive interconnected brain that feeds souls' thoughts. So they feel like they're still existing, and the soul can then replace the body. This is a huge undertaking, and the likes of which would have probably taken hundreds, if not thousands of years of research.
It's disturbing. Is there a search functionality on here?
What do you want to
for
search
souls?
for? Yes, you can locate a soul utilizing a search-based system.
Ivy Phelps.
Ivy is not in there.
Oh, sorry, Elizabeth.
Do you remember Elizabeth's last name? Because there
Rojas,
are
I
3.
believe.
Ronha.
Something with an R. Ronha, yes.
Okay. You can look with an R. For something with an R, and you will find an Elizabeth. Oops, I keep forgetting this. I have to remember that now everything is tabbed differently. You will find the entry for. I want to make sure I have it in front of me when we're going over this. Elizabeth Ronha. And there is a currently resting listed.
I'm gonna read through the details on what they have, the information they have on her, if there is such a thing. I'm assuming that they have some kind of
they have some details that explain that she is suffering. She came in suffering from gremlins. The condition was aggravated by a large number of encounters involving various other creatures as she took her journey. This is actually pretty important because you're going to get a lot of information from this because you fucking nailed rolls on this. I was actually expecting you to get wrecked by this thing and hurt really badly, and you did.
Why? Because
quite
of
the
49 other episodes that we've had.
Yeah. So
I will
you'll be able to see.
Look over it for a while to kind of try to commit it as much memory as I can, or for shared memory if I need to.
She specifically chose not to take the roads and stayed along the riverways, and then went up the forest and then into Levi from the west. That is the path that she tracked. However, along the riverways, she ran into a handful of creatures that messed with her pretty significantly. She didn't know what they were. Ivy is not exactly proficient with a lot of creature knowledge.
Is there a description of the creatures at all?
There are some memory links that you can see. There are clips from the share memory spell that you can review. You will see. You can give me a knowledge. Hold on 1 second. I need to remember. I believe it's nature, but I don't want to say nature until I check.
I wasn't. Yeah, I was mostly
give me
trying
a
to see
knowledge nature.
to see if these were the same ones that we had come across.
Yeah. So these were different. These are.
So they're not dragons.
No.
Okay.
Actually, I think they're not in here. I think they are out of here and never got moved over. So give me a second. Yeah, let me see if they did. I feel like they were here, but I'm not finding them here. Yeah, so these were brine hags. Brine hags are very, very large creatures that are sort of witch-like in nature. But they operate on a very sort of mental manipulation thing, but they typically use their mental manipulation, it is by sort of taking curses or nightmares or other things and inflicting them upon the person with the goal of driving the person to the point of kind of giving up their life to them. At which point they are gradually themselves brought into the sea and rebirth themselves as a brine hag. In her travels, these things did a lot of damage to her, inflicting a very large amount of gremlin thoughts upon her mind as she was fleeing down the riverways. By the time she made it to the forest, she was barely capable of being able to speak properly. As she traveled north through the forest, a lot of memories kept being driven up, and it started deteriorating her facilities, and she was only kind of barely able to, with what last bits of sanity she had left, remember that for some reason she was coming to Levi, and when she arrived, she was barely coherent enough to utter the words, "Help me."
Does this work, or do they function similarly to what I've come to understand about the Fae, as far as the sanity sort of thing?
Brine hags are basically they're an unexpected twist of what dark Fae and magic can do to a creature.
Okay.
They're kind of the worst case scenario for Fae and magic. And
so it
breeds
okay.
upon itself. A lot of hag or Fae magic that is more of a dark nature tends to have something connected to it. In this case, many blame Deshrid directly for brine hags. It seems more like there were probably some either sirens or other sort of sea semi-Faean creatures that were cursed by Deshrid for probably performing some trick or something at sea on a sailor who had properly paid for passage, and so some of these creatures were then cursed to forever kind of live in this lifestyle.
When I'm gonna kind of look over and see if they're still talking to Toxi.
Yeah, you would have been finding out this information during the conversation you were having.
When I see them not focusing on Niev, I'm gonna kind of look over at Niev and try to motion for Niev to come over, because if I try to motion for Gulran to come over, he will get very upset and try to kill this thing.
Yep.
Do I need to do a perception to see if I know?
Give me a perception.
And Ivy probably won't care, or will get very upset.
Yeah, so you can easily spot it, and you can head on over.
I will go over to Antaeus.
I'll just kind of silently pull up the things that I've seen and show them to her.
This is getting really irritating. What kind of solutions do you have for how you're getting me out of here? Or am I gonna have to fly you all out of here?
I mean, again, making you gas and putting you in a container is always an option.
My religion, I'm sorry, will not allow it.
That's fine. What does your religion specifically not allow, just so it's on the record? You being in a bottle?
When they say that, I'm going to
definitely does not allow me being in a bottle.
I'm going to see if I can try
the only part of it?
I am not supposed to be substantiated into different forms of matter.
Oh.
When they're talking about this, I'm going to try to see if I can contact the guards in any way from here. I don't know if there's anything to...
Yeah, you can click on an intercom system, which will allow you to send a message to any of the hallways or stairwells.
Oh, for this facility, or...?
For the whole facility.
Oh. Okay. I guess I have to say something into it then, huh?
Yep.
I'll just call for the guards that were with us to come up.
Okay. After a little bit, the guards will be up there, but...
Yeah.
So what's your solution from there?
Well, now that you expanded your problem with it, I thought we could still keep you in that form, but you wouldn't have to be in a bottle.
What do you mean? How would I be in this form but still be in a bottle?
No, I meant if you agreed to be in a gaseous form, I could get you out of here, but...
How would you do it?
Bottle. Well, to ensure you don't just float away from us, I can make a wind wall, and I can make it follow us so that you would have to just follow us in your gaseous form, and you can move freely as you wish, but you would not be able to...
Listen, I have been properly arrested and detained by the people who are arresting and detaining me. I intend to follow the law. Now, I can fly you all out of here, but I assume that considering one of yours is literally betraying the facility and investigating records that he does not have a right to.
What guy is it that you said you followed again? That you followed again? I'm gonna deliberately interrupt him because he's obviously making up shit at this point.
He'll look over at you. Thoth.
Oh, okay. Actually, I'm gonna try to think if any of that stuff that he said about Thoth is true.
Oh wait, are we? I look to the rest of the party. Are we allowed to be messing with that stuff? And Teus knows the laws, right? He should know.
Well, if you'll remember, we were given charge to find out information here. That's specifically what we were supposed to be doing.
I thought we were supposed to be either arresting everyone or killing them.
Yes, they could either surrender and be arrested, but if you'll remember, he did say that.
I'm gonna try to see if the things that he said were consistent with Thoth's.
No, nothing's been consistent at all about what he's saying with regard to this, because earlier he said he'd be fine being turned into a gaseous form, but when he was told about getting to a bottle, he said, no, I'm not going to do that. And then he also told Gulran that he's not willing to he can't change forms according to his religion. So
I'll just start rambling off every inconsistency that they've now
made. Listen here, okay? What I believe is what I believe.
And it changes on a minute-to-minute basis, apparently.
Listen, you don't have the right to force me into a bottle using spells.
What over this? There's no bottle anymore.
So I will just fly you out.
No, you could float freely in a gaseous form. It's fun.
And move slower than you. This seems preposterous.
But then you can just move through the facility with us. There's no need for flying or any of that.
No need for any
arrest
medicine.
you properly.
It will take us near a day to get out of this facility at that speed.
Is there a file on Toxini here?
Is it that slow? It would take us a day to get out.
It's like 10 feet per round.
I don't remember. I'll post it.
And Teus, given what you showed me, if there was perhaps a numerical value placed on Elizabeth's sanity, would that be in the file?
Yeah, gains a fly speed at 10 feet.
I will look into that if I am able to.
So it wouldn't take a day, because saying you're moving at your max speed.
He's very clearly being hyperbolic.
Yeah. Okay. You could go 30 feet around.
If
you
can go 20 feet around.
Well, isn't your run speed?
You can't run when you're flying. It specifically says a gaseous creature can't run.
Through all of it. Okay, so still 20 feet. That's Gulron's normal speed if he's doing a regular speed. So
yeah, what's wrong with 20 feet is around?
That's why I said slower than a dwarf. He knew what he was talking about. What were you looking for, Antaeus?
Just if there was anything if there was a numerical number. There's a numerical value assigned to the sanity of Elizabeth.
There are no numerical values assigned.
Okay.
They do not have fourth wall technology here.
Look, so if you just let me put you in some sort of container to get you out of here, then we could move.
And then would I become a collection on your mantelpiece when you get home? Bottle of dragon.
I don't have bottles of things collected. It just allows me to walk you out faster.
I don't know what kind of weirdo wizard you are running around with a sword.
Weirdo wizard with a sword. Maybe you should brush up on a...
Weirdo wizard with a weapon! That would have been the better way to put it, you're right.
Sure. Yeah, I don't care. You can call me a weirdo wizard with a weapon.
Alright,
WWW. Turn you into a gas and put you in a bottle. Just
you can turn me into a gas. I'll comply.
And you'll go in the bottle? So
no, I don't have to go in the bottle, but I will comply.
So you want to move really slow.
Look, if it's the best option that you all can come up with, and you won't take my option of flying you all out of here, sure.
And you're gonna...
Somehow we don't let the criminals drive the cop cars. Go figure.
I'm gonna what, WWW?
You're going to follow us out of here, correct? You're gonna move with us?
Yes, I'm going to move with you.
Okay.
And I'm not some person who takes deals frivolously.
Well, I don't know. You say
Inaccurate.
one thing and the next minute
You
say a
tried to
different
kill my
thing.
children.
Your children were
we
literally
succeeded,
killing
actually.
us.
That's
Literally.
they were just doing their job.
Well, maybe if you told them to stop doing their job when you surrounded
I
them,
don't
you would've
believe
had to
one
kill
should
them.
tell their adult children what to do.
Well, then your adult children get to be killed. That's the consequence.
But I
for
still had a
not
right to
wanting tell
protect
what to
them.
do.
Are you failing to understand what's happening here?
And why did
I
they
was
kill
under
them?
arrest.
Yes,
My
you're bad
children were
parents.
not under
I get
arrest,
it.
but you were
You
attempting.
were all under arrest. All of you. were
Yes,
under
everybody in the
arrest.
building had the same choice: surrender or die. We
Oh.
asked you to tell them to surrender, and you wouldn't do it. They kept
Therefore,
fighting.
they get to die.
They died.
I had a right still.
Were you the one who told them to kill themselves if you were to come to capture? Why did they do that?
Who says what to them and what they feel based on what's told to them? It has nothing to do with the decisions they make.
Out of character, once I turn this dude into a gas, I can see the ball of gas, right?
Yeah.
So if he tries to do something I don't want him to do, I can just dismiss it.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I can see it, and it's not like all of a sudden I don't know where he is.
Yep.
All right, Goron, are we doing this? Am I turning this asshole into gas so we can get out of here?
I'll pull Ivy aside out of earshot of the dragon and say, one moment. I pull her aside. Can people cast spells while in this form? Could he teleport away if we do this?
I'm pretty sure he cannot cast spells in this form.
Alright, it's your spell, just making sure, I don't know.
I'm making sure. but
I'm
I
making
don't
sure of
think
something
you
too.
can. It can't attack or cast spells with verbal, somatic, material, or focus components while in a gaseous form. This does not.
Are you done there? I already said I'm going to follow the rules. Stop talking about whether or not I'm going to try to
spells
escape
that-
and what means I might have, and get over here
Repeat silent spells.
I'm
still
gonna
spell,
start looking
right?
and gas me.
I'm gonna
Also
look up.
loses supernatural abilities.
I'm gonna look up.
I'm
how
not
these,
going anywhere. Can you please
All
get
right,
your
let's go.
person to stop trying to break my machinery as well? I paid a lot of gold for those things.
All right, shut up and become gas.
I'm gonna look up how these things in the floor work to see if they can be modified at all.
They can be fully disabled, but they cannot be modified.
Okay, I will
Well,
disable them then.
Okay.
I'll expend the remainder of my spell. points to-
If you
more.
disable them, there is a warning right before you do that. That disabling them will cause the power chamber to drop and shut down, thereby losing all souls stored within the chamber.
I will immediately cancel that.
Okay. They
Can you
specifically have a
release-
warning in there because perhaps that's happened before.
I'm gonna look over and you have like,
Yeah.
Mm.
Can you release Elizabeth at least?
is it possible to release one of them? I thought I tried that, right?
You
Guys,
did not try to
gas
release them.
lasts
You just
forever.
checked to see what status she was in.
You're
We
right.
might wanna,
That's
like,
true.
Deal with this and.
But yeah, you can hit a release button and it will send Elizabeth's soul back to her body.
We
Alright,
don't
let's-
have her body at the moment, do we? Oh wait, maybe we do. I'll look into. I'll see if it's in. Oh, I don't have that bag.
There's a rabbit going crazy somewhere. I guess let's walk them out.
Okay.
Does it give me information as to where the soul goes?
No, it does not. It cannot tell you. It will just tell you the body and as to. Well, actually, it does have a tracking system on it, but you don't know what the map is. Like the map doesn't have detailed locations. It just gives you coordinates.
Okay. I will try to remember which coordinate it was
Okay.
in. And it doesn't tell me if it's alive or dead because
Alive.
Okay. I'll just check my Hayward heavy or my bag just in case.
Okay.
But
All right. So the four of you can guide Toxini out and to the ground floor and out the front door.
Once we get out the front door, I'll warn the guards first. Like, all right, when I dismiss this spell, there's gonna be a giant dragon.
What the hell's a dragon?
Oh God.
giant lizard.
A giant lizard with wings.
How
And
giant?
we
Huge.
huge. So like
They all
About
kind of take a
15
step
feet
back.
by 15 feet.
They all take lots of steps back.
Is
he's
the gas
pretty
cloud the same
wounded,
size?
and I will stab him if he does anything to anyone. So you know, there's that.
is the gas cloud the same size as the creature though?
It can like reshape.
Okay.
Because it can go through like areas as small as like a tiny hole or like the under area of a door.
Goron, do we have like a cellar or any place big enough to like where are we putting this thing when we arrest
Bring
him?
him back to the ministry. I don't know.
Well,
That's what they...
How are we gonna bring him back to the ministry? I have a teleport scroll to get us back, and I'm pretty sure I can't teleport all of us.
I have that covered for all of you.
Oh, is it this dude again?
Johansson starts making his way up to all of you from
Lovely.
right down the road.
You're here. Perfect.
Of course I'm here.
Should I
I was
dismiss
informed as
this
soon as you
spell?
were successful, and it is my responsibility to make sure that all of this is properly taken care of. If you have him in a cloud, you should give me a moment.
Okay. I'll give you as long as I have until my spell expires.
Yes, I know you have a very limited amount of time. Just please let me verify what I have available to myself at the moment. And I will deal with this issue accordingly. Well, I am here and I have you all available. How did everything go otherwise?
Well, most of the regular employees surrendered. A couple of the dragon guards surrendered. The ones on the top mostly fought to the death. Toxini eventually surrendered, but two of their guards committed suicide, and the other two continued to fight despite us urging them to ask them to surrender, and so we were forced to kill them as well.
Disappointing.
Indeed. But Antaeus made some headway with the computer system and found some information.
They have an
there.
Arcana tech system?
Yes.
Mm.
I guess I wouldn't know what a computer was, so I guess I would have called it Arcana tech.
Yep.
Antaeus, would you want to elaborate?
Yes, they have. Well, obviously they have the Arcana tech system. It's very interesting. We're right outside the building, right? I'm assuming.
Yes.
This may not be the best place to discuss.
We're not going to be here much longer. I'm just doing some math while you all chat. I need to make sure I have my math right. I would hate for us to end up where we're not supposed to be.
Agreed. But yes, we can talk about that when we're in a more secure place.
Very well. Did you secure any of the information? Did you have any orbs to store them on? Or crystals, at least?
Say what?
No.
You have not worked much with Arcana Tech, have you?
No, we haven't.
If I would have known such devices were here, I would have brought a few orbs with me. Orbs are an easy way to pull the data. There are specific orbs you can use to pull data from these devices, or if you have a low power crystal, you can get small amounts of information.
Interesting.
Oh, we also released Elizabeth's soul back into her body.
Ah, excellent. Where is her body?
I'll tell him the quadrants that it was in.
That is not familiar to me.
Me either.
Great. This is not news that I wanted to hear. I don't even think that is available to me. You can go ahead and dismiss him. He'll probably be fine. If he's sitting there in the gaseous cloud, he's not going to do anything negative. Who is this idiot? I am, by all means, nowhere near an idiot, and you would be best suited to mind your words. I am the difference between you being executed and you continuing to have time here on this world. Executing me would be a terrible mistake. I don't know if that's true or not yet.
I would agree with the creature on that one.
You would agree?
Yes, there appears to be some sort of conflict brewing, and it would seem to do ill if we are executing them left and right. I think it'd be more if we could work on diplomacy with them, perhaps.
Gulran, I have a much more important thing to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
You recently word had it you were a follower of Sascha. Did you, by chance, have imparted upon you the ability that some of her followers tend to have access to, or have you lost that with your newfound religious conversion?
Are you referring to the ability to scry several times a day? Which ability are you?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
we're allowed to use scrying?
That ability was lost to me, but I can scry in other ways. Still.
And Teus, you perked up like you've been waiting to use something for quite some time?
Well, I mean...
You mean what? And he for a moment, closes the book he has and, like, reaches back and pulls out another book and flips to it. And he's like now, like, no longer looking at the book, but he has a certain page open and he's, like, dead staring at you. Like, go on. Do you have something you need to tell me?
I know the Guru knows how to scry.
Yes, I obtained the proper documentation for some river site.
He will take another step towards Antaeus. Now, Antaeus, I want you to do well here, and I don't think it would do you well to be keeping information from the people who can make sure you're the safest with the information you have.
Or giving information, and I look over to the dragon, to our enemies, correct?
As of right now, I don't think knowing whether or not you are currently in possession of illegal spells is...
Oh, I don't have possession of that spell. I understand how it works. I don't have scrolls or anything of that nature.
And it's not in your little formula book.
Oh, well, that.
Yes,
I suppose if that's a possession.
that.
Yes.
And he, reaches beneath his cloak and he pulls out a pen and writes something down in the book. And then closes the book and puts it away. I will allow you to forego the fine that comes along with what you've done. Registration is important. If I find out that you have acquired any other formula without getting proper registration, I will unfortunately have to report you accordingly. Oh, by the way, guards, you're dismissed. You go. I guess go about your duties.
Thanks for your help. You were great.
They all kind of grumble as they walk away.
I appreciate you.
Whatever.
We should buy them an edible
Aw.
arrangement.
There's no edible arrangements here. Those things are ridiculous. Well, do you have it? Are you able to use it now, or have you only got it for thrills of being able to say you have contraband?
Well, no, I don't prepare it, because why would I prepare it? It's illegal for me to use.
But you can, right? That's no.
Oh yes, I have an understanding of how to use it. I haven't utilized it yet because I haven't had the authority to. But
Oh wait, you have to pick the things you cast or make, don't you?
yes,
Sucks to be you.
I suppose.
I suppose it does suck to be me.
Well, so you've lost the thing you were sent here for, but at least you found the thing that you weren't sent here for.
Well, since Elizabeth's alive, it should be easier to be able to find her now, correct?
When last I believe you had given me your recap, Elizabeth is a rabbit.
Oh, well, yes. I mean, we know that when she was released, she was alive, so that's good information, I suppose.
Did we ever check Niev's bag of holding or whatever to make sure she's not there still?
It's a good question.
I
I checked
thought
mine.
that
that's
they-
what-
thought that they took her off of me whenever we were arrested, but I will look in my bag of holding.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think.
I mean, it's
ever
a handy
specifically
haversack.
said.
So if I reach in for the handy haversack, whatever I'm reaching in for should be at the top.
Okay.
So
Yeah. You will pull out a rabbit. It is unconscious. And roll me a D100.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
She has a
It
10% chance of still being alive at this point.
It had life bubble around it or whatever.
Life
didn't
bubble
it?
only lasts for a certain number of hours.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't know.
And they
like,
don't
how
know
long.
that Elizabeth is inside of this thing.
Yeah,
I thought they did because they could track her because it
Yeah,
Because
was
it wasn't in mine.
They said they
could
looked
see
at the
her.
bag. Yeah, they said they.
Oh,
they
that is
used it.
correct. You are correct.
Because specifically because it wasn't in
Yes.
mine.
So then you actually know so she's not in the bag. You actually know exactly where she is. Because she is
Okay.
extracted. I forgot that had happened. I do apologize.
I was like, wait.
No,
they
for
said-
some reason in my head, I was thinking like you guys had left her there, but then you mentioned the handy haversack, and that became clear. There's a lot of things that aren't wiring together today. So yeah, you'll then be able to, you'll know immediately where she is. She's probably still in the jail. They would have taken any living creatures into possession, and they can't assign the creature as property unless you have a license to own the pet. And so they would be trying to track down the pet's rightful owner at this point, because you don't have like a bill of sale, you don't have any sort of like ownership asset, like anything to like show that this living creature is your living creature. And it was unconscious at the time that they found it, so they can't prove that either. So as far as they're concerned, she's supposed to be here. The best they can tell is she's supposed to be here in the institution because she at least has a tag that ties her to Ivy or to Elizabeth.
We should have paid the extra and got the Arcana chip put in her so we could find her.
All right, well, let's get her picked up. Which one of you is running to grab her? I'll give you the proper documentation.
I'll go get her.
He'll flip through another couple of pages of the book, write some stuff down, and then kind of slide the page off. And as he slides it off, it'll kind of float through the air towards you. You can run, use this order to pick up little rabbit Beth and return.
All right,
there-
I will do so.
Is there like a label on this book at all, or is it just?
It's unlabeled.
Hmm.
He'll close the book and put it away as he waits for Niev to return. Once you're all back. All right. Well, this was the most difficult teleport I'm going to have to arrange. If I'm doing my math right, though, we should be able to get out of here without dying.
Oh, I'm glad you're confident about that.
Relatively confident.
I do still have the scroll you gave me, if that helps at all. Splitting it into multiple teleports, but...
That could help. I'd rather you not waste the scroll, but
Sure,
suppose I
wanted
can
to
always
offer it.
make more.
I mean, what's a scroll when you're saying it's our lives at stake?
True. But we still have to make sure we're doing things carefully. And, of course, it's not necessarily a limitation of one thing. It's that I've never really done this with a creature this size. So just some of you might not come with. So I suppose let's do this the safe way. Let's have... does this creature by chance have resistance to spells?
Probably,
Yes,
but I'm pretty sure that
it
works where he
does.
could allow you could lower it.
He does have resistance to spells. I did have to ensure my spells were landing on him properly.
Alright, well, why don't how should we do this? What is the most efficient way to make sure this happens?
We should probably check with him first because apparently his god Thoth doesn't allow for a lot of things.
Oh, I'm sure not. Oh, I remember the reason you can't do this. I'm sorry, it's been a weird day and a half. People turning into rabbits, me having to get people out of prison, giving them promotions for getting to prison. It's not every day these kinds of things happen. Yes, you don't know where we're going.
Oh. I assumed we were going back to the ministry, but if that's not the case, then yes, that could be a problem.
Creatures like this would need to be placed in a very specific holding location, and
Makes
it is
complete sense.
one which you're theoretically not supposed to know of.
Sure.
So I think the safer bet is
And you don't
have the energy required. I think I can manage to do this. How about this? I'll take one of you with the dragon and myself. I suppose I could take two of you with the dragon and myself. Let's do one of you with the dragon and myself. And if the dragon refuses to come, I should then probably take two of you with the dragon and myself. And if the dragon refuses to come, I can always come back and get him again. I'm chancing the 3, but I should be fine. So.
Well, I'll volunteer to stay back.
Good. That would be the best, just in case.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that you could send back here to pick up the other ones that are staying back?
Who would be better at this than me?
That way you don't have to chance the teleportations.
It's fine. I've done it numerous times before. I've been to 12 before, so.
12?
And he, reaches onto yours and Niev's shoulders and finishes the teleport.
And do all of them, including the dragon, disappear?
The dragon does go with, yes.
What about Hunter?
He can pick up Hunter coming back.
Okay.
I was going to say, I thought he was still... No, he's not a companion, you're right.
And he will, as he, reemerges in this very large open room, with a, huge silver door, off against one wall. I should actually say colossal. This is a 20-foot by 20-foot door, made entirely out of silver. He will reemerge and he will say, "One day, there are some things that you can learn, but for now, best to keep you with the knowledge you have." And then he will disappear again.
Immediately starting to look around.
And he will reappear in the other place. This room is basically large enough to fit probably about 4 colossal creatures. And it seems to be no exit to this room.
And is it all outlined in silver?
No, this room is not outlined in silver. This room has a number of runes across the top of it and across the bottom of it, and one massive rune inscribed into the ceiling.
And then the door is silvered, and that's it.
The door is a full silver door.
Silver door. I immediately
When he leaves,
PTSD.
noticing that, I'll start trying to read the runes if I'm able.
You know Old Draconic, right?
Correct.
So there will be some insight into this from this, and you'll see the dragon is also looking at the runes, and he is, do either of you have any ranks engage?
Me? No.
I'm here, right?
No, you're not there yet.
Oh.
It was me and Niev.
Niev, you are noticing that even the dragon is starting to feel nervous in here.
Oh.
Gulran and Ivy, he returns. All right, well, your friends are there. If we could all close in, please. I suppose I have to take the dog, too. Can one of you touch it?
I will.
You're not there.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Who said that? Yes.
Come here, good puppers.
Gather round. Let's go.
All right.
And he will bamf all of you from there to this room as well. And this needs a musical change. Oh, that's not the song I thought it was. Oops. Sorry.
Oh boy. Prepare for combat.
I didn't hear any music change.
I've heard that track used before when I think in Conscripted with combat maybe.
So, all of you are standing in this room. Johansson will walk up to the door, and he will proceed to move his hands in a very specific way. What you have noticed, by the way, from looking at these runes, Antaeus, give me a linguistics check and we'll see what you can put together. But it should be pretty easy for you with your linguistics knowledge. This room specifically is locked to certain individual, has a sort of protective barrier against certain things teleporting into it if they do not match a very specific signature and have a very specific set of items. The way that each of these runes is triggered off is basically based on who is the insinuator of the teleport. So this is the kind of thing where only he or somebody else that has whatever the combination is would be able to teleport into the spot, and if they didn't, this room would be like the worst nightmare of any creature that had ever lived. It would summon in creatures from other places. It would start to fill with all sorts of terrible liquids and other poisons and toxins. It is designed to basically make sure anything that gets in here that's not supposed to be here dies in every way that it could possibly die.
So his name's probably in those runes somewhere then, I'm assuming.
No, the names are not put into the runes. The names are referencing something else, something you can't quite put together.
I'll, in my journal, my palette journal, I'll just kind of make some notes in between the margins on like one of the pages.
Mm-hmm.
Some real quick notes about that to try to figure out how that works.
When he finishes making the gestures and he lets out a long, deep breath, the doors will slowly fade out of view. And inside you will see a long hallway. The floor and ceiling are silver from end to end. The walls, a thickened layer of lead, with small cages of force along every, well, not small, but large cages of force along every 40 or so feet. The dragon starts to look over things, and this is the quietest he has been since you have all arrested him. But he will utter one thing in a sort of attempt to break the tension he's feeling. Guess I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, am I?
How do you know that? If you cooperate, I'm sure things can be worked on. You are a lot more agreeable than your kin that we've met.
Legal system works slowly. It always has. Part of how I was able to operate as well as I did for so long.
Is there anything in any of these other cages as we walk past them?
Yes. There are a wide variety of various creatures in these cages. But as you move by them, the ability to kind of view them is blurred by gas or some other thing that makes them not quite able to be identified.
No labels or anything on the cages?
No labels.
Okay. I'll try to fall a little further behind and so I'm not sitting in front of Rion. I'll try to make very small notes about these things if I can.
You'll notice if you fall a little too far back, there'll be like a hand that kind of pushes you a little bit forward to like keep your pace, so you can't get too far away from him. But there is like some level of getting behind him that you can do and start taking some notes.
I would whisper to Ivy to see if the blurriness is magical that's blocking
it. It is certainly magical. Okay.
I was more curious if it was like divine thought magic or something.
It is definitely like protective magic. Probably you can probably assume in both directions. Eventually, though, they will get you to a cage that also still has the gas, but he will stop in front of it. He will like reach up and grab one of the bars and kind of slide it to the side, and the bars will disappear as he makes that sliding motion. This is where you'll be staying for a while. I know it's not the best accommodations, but it's the right accommodations for something like you. Reluctantly, the dragon will start to walk forward. He'll stop for a moment before he reaches the where the walls of the force cage once were. Don't I get like a lawyer or like someone I can reach out to? You said it yourself. The system works very slowly. You'll get access to what you need when the time comes. We'll make sure your business, in the meantime, is well taken care of. Unfortunately, I know there's no one there to operate it. Key thing to note, though, you are going to be responsible legally for any damages done if you happen to fail in your case. So I would hope that you plan to present a very excellent case, because right now it's not looking so good for you, and if you have Arcana Tech in there, I'm sure you've secured it to the highest level. And if any of what is beyond the Arcana Tech, deep within it, is nefarious, problematic, or dangerous, and it results in the death of any of my men, I will see to it that you are not only executed for your crimes, but I will see to it that every memory you have is taken from you, and you will relive your execution over and over and over again until I feel like you have adequately served punishment for the crime you've committed. Do I make myself clear? You're going to need to seek out one of my children, then, that's still alive. Not one of the bigger ones, one of the smaller ones. There is one who will probably cooperate with you better than the rest, but she'll need to let her go, and she'll need to recover her true body. I understand. Thank you. And what does she go by? That's the most depressing part. You won't find her by her real name. You'll find her by the name she keeps telling everyone. I believe your potion thrower there knows her name. I don't care for her name. As far as I'm concerned, I've forgotten
shit,
who
the
she
girl
is.
you went on a date with?
Oh.
Interesting.
Listen, I don't have to care about all of my children. Yes, but it
Yes.
does help if you care about your children from time to time. It helps stop society from ending up filled with a bunch of pyres, as I believe you all referred to them. Now, in with you go. The dragon will take his last few steps into it. Rian will reach over and pull at where one of the bars are, and the rest of the bars of the force cage will come over. And as they do, that cloudy backdrop will appear over top of him, rendering him no longer visible.
Spellcraft? Knowledge Arcana?
You can give me a Knowledge Arcana here.
Okay. I forgot which one was for which.
So, there are so many spells here that it's a bit confusing to figure out what's going on. This mist is some measure of obscuring mist in origin, but there's also like some protective magic in here beyond just the force cage, because otherwise if they put something like him in here, he should easily be able to like shoot his breath weapon out from around here. There are probably other things, but it would take you quite a while to try to discern what these things could possibly be.
What
but it
is
is very powerful.
IVC?
A lot of very powerful magic. It like overwhelmingly large, brilliant areas of magic. Well, that's all well and good, but debriefings are necessary. Shall we?
Let's.
He'll guide the four of you back down the hallway. And as all of you step out, the silver doors will reappear behind him. He will look at the four of you. None of this goes outside of these walls. None of it. You don't mention to anyone else this creature. Not if you want to keep us all safe. Not if you want to protect this city and any other city.
I mean, we just went there for Elizabeth, right?
Yes. Word will get out. Word will spread. We cannot stop that. But what we can do is slow the tide. These can continue to be rumors, unsubstantiated, missites. We can continue disinformation as long as we can. It's not my preferred option, but I understand why they're doing it.
Why they're doing it?
Yes. I am not the ministry. I am not the government. I merely execute what they request. We will get to the bottom of whatever is going on in there. What discoveries have you made about the device? It sounds like, Antaeus, if you knew it was Arcana Tech, you got in, didn't you?
Yes, I didn't have time to delve too much into it, but I was able to figure out a little bit here and there on how it worked. Figure out how to find, there's a search functionality to find specific souls.
Will you share with me what you discovered?
Sure.
I don't suppose you happen to have that on hand.
Oh, I've always got it on hand. I pull out my item.
Okay. Yeah, then you can proceed to share the memories with him. Excellent. This will save a lot of time. Any additional useful information that you found about that besides what was already given to me?
And during our exploration of the facility, there were several floors that had people or creatures locked in cells that were messing with our minds with voices. There were torturous machines we encountered.
I believe those were on the third floor that the ones we specifically encountered, correct?
Mm-hmm.
There were
The
ones on
second
the
floor was
first floor
the-
as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The workout machines.
Go ahead. And Niev, what was that?
Oh, I was going to say the third floor was just very dark, and there were these whispers that tried to confuse our mind. We didn't go in there. We just shut the door. The second floor was where they had some sort of what they were calling exercise machines that clearly were torturing people.
The one that had the gas that came out and almost, did damage to us. The acid gas.
And Antaeus, you were saying that you tried to shut it down, but couldn't?
Oh, yes. I assume that he saw that part of the thing as well, right?
No, I mean, you would have only
that
he asked about the Arcana Tech.
Yes. If you attempt to shut it down, the green lines of Arcana Tech underneath the floor, you kind of give them the gist of what the error message said.
Well, this will be a challenge, no matter. It fits along with some of our expectation. We've been keeping an eye on the rehabilitation center for some time. Elizabeth was supposed to get there safely and was going to be an informant for us. Unfortunately, it sounds like her condition has worsened.
Yes. From what Antaeus was telling, or what Antaeus showed me, she ran into some brine hags on her way, and
I saw in
Oh,
the
you
vision
saw
he
that.
shared.
okay.
It wasn't part of it. Thank you. Very sad news indeed. Well,
I'll just sort of pet the bunny.
for now, I would suggest an extensive break. You've all been through quite a bit. We will work to recover Elizabeth back to some measure of health and awareness, or you yourselves may choose to do so. She is your friend, and perhaps that would be best. I guess most of you don't know her too well, but
If she would be willing to let me at least observe, I would like to. but lately she hasn't necessarily had the most positive perception of me, for understandable reasons, of course.
I should be able to turn her back tomorrow from the bunny form so that she won't have to worry about that.
If you would like to do it, then I will leave it to all of you. She is then in your custody now.
Yes.
So, the nice part about a place like this is it's very easy to get everyone back home. Are you all tired?
Extremely
God,
tired.
yes.
Good. That's all you need. And we will take a short break. We'll be back. we're back. Wait, did you say Kit Boga?
Yeah.
Oh, the guy who scams scammers.
Kind of,
that
yeah.
guy. Anyway, whoops, I did not transition the map, but you will all suddenly awaken in your beds. Back in Knightsbridge.
Well, that's
Shortly after
interesting.
agreeing that you were all tired.
This isn't creepy at all.
Can we click our rest macros?
You can.
Yay! Spell points.
I mean, I desperately need healing.
You will find you are fully healed.
Ooh, I like this.
Oh, is my energy drain gone? That was just like
Your
a
energy drain is gone.
yay.
Monday, yeah.
That was awesome. I'm just happy about that full hit points, okay? Well.
I feel so serene.
Well,
Hmm.
you're back home. Unexpectedly back home, but back home nonetheless, and all in one piece. Maybe everything was just a dream.
Well, we don't have to worry about paying any damages to the rental card, I guess.
But there is one way you know for certain it's not a dream. On a small cage next to Niev's bed is a little bunny.
Hi there, little Elizabeth.
It just stares at you with cold, empty eyes.
Perhaps I should call the others over before I do anything.
Yeah, you can gather up everybody. Does anybody have anything in specific they want to do when they wake up?
I don't think so.
Just regular spell preparation stuff.
Yeah, you can go door to door collecting everybody to bring them over to your place. Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I do know that. Well, would I know that she didn't lose her mind? Because, I mean, out of character, I know that. But is there any way that I would know in character whether or not she had?
I would say that you can feel like that there was resistance against that property of the spell.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to restore Elizabeth, but you know I don't know what state she's in, so I guess be prepared for anything.
Fair.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I will cast True Form on her.
Yeah, I'll grab a plate of food and then I'll set one near her as well. So when she turns back, if she wants to eat the food, maybe she will.
Okay. She will slowly reemerge, and as she does so, her eyes are deep, almost black, as if that aspect of the rabbit somehow didn't get removed from her. But you know the spell should have done that. There's no reason it wouldn't have. And she just kind of stares at the four of you, like kind of looking back and forth. Like a shell of a person trying to understand what lies before them now.
Elizabeth, do you remember us? I'll kind of nudge Gulron.
Do you understand us right now?
She'll like reach a hand towards you, Gulron.
Like my face, or like what is she reaching?
Towards your face.
Yeah, I'll let her. Yes, it is me, Gulron. Do you remember me? How could you forget my beard?
She'll slowly turn towards Antaeus. Antaeus, actually, everybody, can I have a perception check?
Hey, look, I don't like these perception checks when she's doing things with me, alright? That sounds really weird. Oh, everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any unusual stonework?
So, Gulran, you'll notice something sort of weird here.
Should I pair this with a gauge check?
Antaeus has a shadow.
There's nothing unusual about that.
And it's holding something.
Really?
Extending it out towards Elizabeth.
What's going on over there, Antaeus?
Is it holding something that came from a book?
Yeah.
What?
Should we be worried about this?
You can see, like, the shadow is slowly shrinking, but, like, with kind of its, like, long, outstretched hand, it is, like, offering this to her. And Elizabeth will kind of start reaching out to take it.
You said her eyes are blackened?
Yes, but Elizabeth's hand cannot seem to grasp it, but you can see her shadow, like, moving almost separately to grasp it.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
What happens? Maybe it'll help.
What's the shadow plane doing?
It is not the shadow plane. There is no such thing as the shadow plane. That you know of for certain. So this is not a knowledge of the planes.
Okay, I guess I would try to figure out what could be causing that.
Give me a knowledge para arcana.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this has been like a pet project of yours, trying to understand this whole, like, where did your shadow go? What are shadows? How can someone not have a shadow? How can you lose a shadow? And what you've learned is that, well, there isn't a shadow plane in the sense of, like, there isn't another realm that you go to that shadows exist. You know that shadows exist on a different plane.
So do they exist kind of like how spirits exist in the same world as us?
No, because
in this,
spirits
or-
exist in a plane that is between two planes.
Okay.
A shadow exists on a, like, dimensional plane, much like time or space. These things kind of exist in their own kind of hybrid between these two areas. So they exist kind of 2.5 dimensionally as well as, like, 3.5 dimensionally. A shadow is almost like a creature that only has 2 dimension, that has 3 dimensions like a person does, but their third dimension is a distortion of time as opposed to a distortion of depth.
How, like, in comparison to like dreamscapes and stuff, like, what would they be considered as far as planes?
They are from the material plane. They
Okay,
are an echo of the effect that the material object of light has on the quantum component of existence. I guess quantum isn't the right word. No, is it temporal component of existence? Hold on. This came up before where I've been using one of these words improperly, and I can't remember which one. Temporal.
Interesting.
But as you're thinking on this, the shadow grows closer to the outstretched hand, but it keeps having to kind of reach out for it.
Does Elizabeth have a shadow?
Yes, Elizabeth has a shadow. That is what is now reaching for it. As she realizes she can't touch it, she keeps moving forward in the hopes that if her shadow touches it, it will grab it.
I will attempt to pull it back. I don't know, or step away, I guess.
Yeah, if you step away, your shadow will kind of get yanked a little bit with you. It will try, you'll feel like what feels like it resisting, but if you step away, it will shrink away. And as it does, like, the little shadow object will clink against the ground and look kind of like a 2-dimensional object on the floor. And Elizabeth will start to kind of lean down to pick it up.
I'll go to pick it up.
Yeah, you can pick it up, and for some reason, you are able to pick it up, but it is like, again, it has that weird, like, you're holding something different than what you're holding effect. And Elizabeth will turn her eyes to you, and get this like very sad and confused look on her face.
Can you speak?
She'll reach a hand forward to you. She'll pull it back.
Did she say anything in your head, Gulron, whenever she touched you?
No. I wish I had prepared to detect thoughts, but alas, I did not.
I'll step off to the corner of the room and I'll kind of rummage through the book and see if anything pops up. Or if that doesn't work.
There is a note on the front cover of the book. You already know what the note on the front cover of the book says because you put it there. Not you, other you.
Does that say call me? Does it have a name?
Hey! Well, I can't see what you're seeing, but I was going to say...
I will...
What is going on, Antaeus? What's happening?
Mark that with my thumb and see if anything else pops up out of here.
No.
Alright, I'll flip it back over and then I'll just go, well, there's a message in this book.
Okay.
The book's sending you messages now?
Yeah. I'll kind of turn it around and show the name. I'll kind of, if anything's on the page, I'll cover it up with my hand as best I can.
Yeah. You'll see the name. I believe you put Candor Rossavant on there in full.
Yeah.
Correct?
Isn't that similar to the thing that you had in your dream? Something about a savant?
Yes. It does seem eerily similar. I wasn't sure if it was the word or a surname of some sort, but it appears to be the latter.
Give me an insight check here, by the way. This is following up from the Para-Arcana as your brain kind of adjusts to a different thought and then
my good rolls
slowly
for the
adjusts
50th
back.
episode.
Very good. This is for like a celebration for the 50th episode for your alchemist that has spent the entire knowledge time rolling ones. There is suddenly a realization to you. A shadow is always some sort of has some sort of direct connection to a specific person. But they can be made to act independently, but also the same. If this is a shadow of an object, this object that you have, then whatever the initial object does, this would probably have an effect on the shadows of the objects in the same accordance with what it did otherwise. You don't, of course, know what the base object is, but...
Come again?
So, shadows act independently, right? So this object probably doesn't have an effect on people because it's not a material object, it's a shadow object.
But if there's a shadow in her or whatever, then it might affect the shadow?
Correct. The other thing that you know is, from what you just saw, you're the only person who can touch the shadow version of this. She reached out to grab it, and she could not put her hand on it. Her shadow then had to reach for it.
What does this look like again?
It is like a long, kind of cylindrical object, or like a long bar object, rather.
Like a baton kind of thing?
Yeah, like a baton.
I wonder if this is what he was meaning when he was talking about shadows.
Probably, but my concern is if we just touch it with it or hand it over or whatever, that's something bad.
Who was talking about shadows? I'm so lost.
Oh, the thing that the person that tried to contact me. With the...
Yes, remember we said that Antaeus was being scryed on?
Yes.
He was being contacted by someone, but he was only getting pieces of it.
You think this is a shadow person? I don't see the connection.
He was talking about a shadow. According, he was saying something about shadow, but we don't know what he was saying.
Right.
It broke up, and it could have been do or don't. I don't know.
Well, those are two different things. And
Yes,
very opposite.
Exactly. Hence why if we do something with this, and like if I try to use this on there, and he was saying do not do that, it could be catastrophic.
Maybe we should let Elizabeth rest for a day, and I can come back with some more relevant spells to see if what she's thinking. Maybe.
I mean, there is one way to find out what this thing is.
I am going to cast a spell.
Okay.
Wait, let me make sure I have the component on my sheet first. Because I may have ran out. It appears I've run out.
Out of Kraskaran effigies?
No, Glimpse of Truth. I think I need some component I do not have
You
anymore.
can run out and pick one up real quick.
All right, everybody stay where you are. I'll run out and I'll buy, what does this say? Tourmaline 50 GP, so I'll buy like 5 of these.
Okay.
And I'll cast Glimpse of Truth and look around at Elizabeth. I have 1 round, so 6 seconds. I'm going to look at the shadow and Elizabeth, see if I see anything.
Yeah, you will notice that there is like a sort of tear that runs between where Elizabeth's shadow is and where Elizabeth stands.
There seems to be some sort of tear in her shadow. Does this mean anything, Minteus? I'll point out where I saw the tear.
Would I have any idea?
Yes, a torn shadow is an ill omen. It means that one's shadow is separated from themselves. But if it's still with her, it's still bound in some way.
Has Ivy already looked at this before? I don't think she has she?
Ivy doesn't really see it because it's a shadow. Like she doesn't see it in the same. She doesn't see it in the same manner. She can see that it's magical and it has Kandor-esque magic, but it is shadow in its current form.
All right, let's go ahead and detect magic on this. I need some sort of fort save, I'm assuming, because I don't have the components on me.
No. Though if you don't have the components, you just use the dagger to do it, and you take some damage.
But I believe I need to make some sort of save with this. Actually, is that the right thing?
Oh yeah, you make the fort save for the drug.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember exactly what it was that I need to do with this.
Yeah, so you turn on your vision, and a problem you're having here is that you still are seeing... You're still seeing in the material realm. You're still seeing at the material level.
So it's not showing me anything that if it were tied to if it were tied to the shadow realm, it feels weird saying that. Then it wouldn't show me anything because it's not on the material.
You're gonna see magic, but you're not gonna be able to really discern it because your eyes can't see the contortions, what the threads are that make up the magic.
Are there threads similar to the stuff with Kandor stuff?
You can see the twist that you would expect to see, but that's an element of being able to see the magic. It's not enough to be able to see. You can't see what the threads look like. The threads themselves. You can just see that there are threads and they are twisted.
I didn't know if it was like if it was like tied to.
It's like you're looking at something very smoky.
Okay.
And so you can make out that there's something in there that has like that twist that goes out, but you can't see anything like in any detail. Just the larger picture of what it is.
Okay, so it does look like it might be tethered to something else.
Give me an insight check here. You recall that there was a way to regrow your shadow.
Mending. think it was mending.
You just say that out loud?
Yes, I would say that out
Oh.
loud because it would be in the middle of my train of thought, I'm assuming.
I have, for unknown reasons, perhaps Kraskron's guidance, I have Make Whole prepared. Do you want me to cast this on her shadow?
Was that the one that you had used last time?
It's an advanced form of mending.
Last
isn't that what
time,
he used on you?
last time I thought he just used mending. Make whole, last time, or no, what it was. Hold on.
I think I used Make Whole to heal her.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, like as a joke or something. No, you did
Yeah.
that as a joke on me, and then
Yeah.
started experimenting on her, and things got real.
That's right. I used it as a joke on
Yep.
you because I was saying you were like robotic, and then like you said it did something to his shadow too. I think.
Yeah.
So
It was make whole. You're right.
I have Make Whole prepared. I don't know why I prepared this today, but it's in my memory. So should I try it? Maybe I can repair her shadow.
Go
You
for
think
it.
is it dangerous?
It works similarly to mending in the way that it functions.
Yes, it's like it's a stronger mending.
I mean, I don't see why we shouldn't, and
I do not have mending prepared, but
and I don't think she's in any position to object unless she physically is objecting now.
all right. Well, here goes nothing.
So you cast make whole, and you reach out, and as you reach out, Ivy will Elizabeth will look a little bit reluctant, but the shadow will move in towards the shadow of your hand, and as it touches it,
Shit.
Uh-oh.
I was supposed to do this more dramatically.
Roll for initiative.
I do need you to roll
Oh,
for
shit.
initiative. Let me bring up the initiative box real quick. There you go. I was not expecting this.
Just Goron or all of us?
all of you.
Okay. Let's see.
It's somewhere probably.
Why am I not finding?
Where are we here?
Is my token on here somewhere? I can't find
No,
it.
we
Oh, you'll have to drag it on. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
Like I said,
I-
not planning for this, but this is what happens if you do this. So
I forget that you could even drag it on. That's still so.
Yeah, I
cool.
forgot that too.
I need to get some more combat-friendly clothes. Can't be wearing this suit in combat all the time.
You just want to look professional.
What
I
are those
was
guys
like-
called in Kung Fu Hustle? The axe. They're always wearing suits. They have axes. You'd be one of those guys.
Man, I forgot. It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
I don't know why that was the first thing I thought of when you thought of like fighting in a suit.
yeah, so her shadow, like your spectral hand touches her shadow, and the shadow kind of rips its way forward, and it kind of
Whoa.
grows in shape, and Elizabeth just kind of like falls to the ground unconscious, and the shadow stands before you. Let me grab
The hell is this?
quick object so I have something on here for the shadow.
Thought you said this was safe, Antaeus.
To be fair, I never actually said that.
Safe is
It
also
was
a relative
implied.
term. It was implied. A typical Goron thing to say. We'll use this for right now. Oops, that's not the right map to do that to.
Yes, let's have a relaxing time in town and just, pick a fight with the shadow monster.
Oh, good. We've got all this time off that for vacation. We can have our beach episode. Just kidding.
Remember what happened last beach episode? People got kidnapped.
Yeah. All I remember from that episode is that there was somebody that was really upset that he lost the game of volleyball, and I don't remember who.
I think it was some guy named Cassius.
No.
I
He was
Yes.
upset about everything else.
So, does the shadow seem like it's trying to attack us now?
The shadow seems very vicious and has like drawn Ivy's sword, or I'm sorry, Elizabeth's sword, and has her shield.
Her physical sword and shield?
No, a shadow version of
Okay.
her sword and shield.
Well, I guess I'll rage with, displacement and protection from fire, I guess, because I don't know what to resist fire or whatever. And, just be like, I kinda need to know what I'm dealing with here, and I will, not spell combat, but I'll defensively cast a Shocking Grasp.
Okay.
And try to deliver it.
Yep.
I need to have anything clicked on here. That's all good. Single attack.
That will hit. Yeah. You will need to give me a spell resistance check.
Alright.
Caster level check, rather.
Caster level 23.
That is a success.
Sweet.
You will find that the damage slices into the shadow most of the part of the way, but doesn't seem to like cut through it cleanly. And sorry, just pulling something up real quick. Very annoyed at the way this is working. It will like cut partially into the shadow, but the shadow seems to kind of like, I don't know, like smokify as you sort of slice through it, and then kind of put itself back together, and the electricity kind of sparks across it as well. But it doesn't seem to have the effect you might expect. It had some, but not.
Okay.
But not like normally when you cut into things, you see like clear and present indicators of damage. Here, you don't really get that kind of effect.
Gotcha.
Go around.
I need to know what the fuck this is.
I don't know if you want a perception check. I'm looking at Elizabeth's body on the floor. Does it look like Ivy's attack has hurt her actual body?
It has not. It has not hurt her actual body.
All right. If I don't see any indications of that, then I think it's fair game. I will take a 5-foot step back from this thing, and I will try to... Did I not prepare this spell? I'm making sure I have this. Yes. I don't know if this does anything, but I'll say, Shadows fear the light, and I'll cast Searing Light. I'll present my cross-crown symbol and say, be gone!
Bet you weren't
All
expecting to have
resistance
to
is
use that
applicable.
so soon.
Yeah. So roll me a caster level check.
I will...
Yeah. This thing, the shadow suddenly erupts into flames. And looks, the shadow is like still kind of burning. There's like a light illuminating the darkness around the outside. Niev.
I am going to begin to summon a medium fire elemental.
Okay.
And I'm just going to have Hunter stay where he is for right now.
The shadow will go. And the shadow will look at Antaeus. And it will aggressively lunge at Antaeus with its blade.
So, like,
Yeah, that's
reach
not
him
likely.
without moving?
Yes. It doesn't really have to move. You're all within 5 feet of...
Yeah, I assume we were all like around.
Roll Run
Yeah,
specifically
that's
had to step away. 28 to hit your touch AC.
Yeah.
Can anyone identify what this is?
Take 6 points of strength damage.
Oh god.
No, I'm good.
I decline.
As the blade cuts into you, can feel it like severing the tendons that lie deep beneath you.
I probably fall over as soon as that happens. I'm at
Does
2,
that, you're,
so-
okay. Yeah, so you become like heavily encumbered by what you have on you.
I was at medium encumbrance when I was at 8, so
And Teus.
what do I know about shadows?
So this shadow, you're gonna need a knowledge para-arcana.
Cool.
I can send things back to their plane if it's extraplanar.
It is not extraplanar. So what you know about this thing that stands before you is that for everyone else, the way that it hurts them should be different. It should affect their shadow, not them. So you notice that this blade had to cut into you. For everyone else, it cuts into them by cutting into their shadow instead of by cutting into them themselves. And what it sort of does is it turns their shadow against them, which is how it normally saps their strength. It basically makes their shadow working against them until it has like turned their shadow to it. And then they become a shadow. You at this point don't know what happens to you if this thing is striking you directly and you have no shadow.
I'm assuming that am I able to do anything? Like, am I able to still move at all? Not move per se, but like, am I able to move my limbs?
I mean,
or...
yeah. I mean, you're just heavily encumbered at this point, so you
do
can.
I still have a shadow?
You don't have a shadow.
Okay, I didn't know if
your shadow recoiled after you'd taken the step back because it was like slowly shrinking already.
Okay, I didn't know if it was completely gone or not.
No. It is now, but
I'm going to, because I was going to try to take this baton and use it on my shadow, but I guess I'll just try to use it on myself if I'm not
okay.
If there's no shadow or anything.
You will. How are you going to try to use it on yourself?
I'll use it on. Well, you know what? I'll use like the dagger. Try to use it on my hand.
It has
probably like. Ugh.
It has a very painful effect as it moves across you, but it like not a. How do I put that? You know how like somebody punches you and you have that like stinging sensation if they hit you hard enough, but like not hard enough to like hurt per se. That's kind of the feeling you have, like a stinging sensation, but not one of any lasting pain. Ivy.
Yeah, I'll try to mention that it's gonna attack your shadows and as much
no
of that as I can
information
get.
about why my attacks are
It's incorporeal.
as effective? Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately, the only thing I could do against incorporeal, I don't have the material component I need yet, so guess I will just do some spelly combat and see if I can land multiple attacks. That.
Mm-hmm.
I have just all the buttons to press. Oh my god, okay. 20?
20 will not hit.
Bummer.
You can see, like, Elizabeth's
20.
phantom shield push away your phantom blade.
Yeah.
The 23 will miss.
Bummer. Well.
Ghoulron.
Well, sorry, Ivy, but it looks like this one's for me.
That's fine, just kill it.
I will try to sear light again.
Yeah.
Caster level check.
That will not hit its touch. You will, like, extend your burning hand towards it, and the shadow will kind of, like, glide away from the light that pours from you.
Alright.
Niev.
Alright, so I have my fire elemental, I have sunlight summons if that makes any difference.
Okay.
And I'm going to direct it to attack.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, would we be surrounding this creature enough that people could have some flank bonuses?
No, because nobody's specific. She can move the elemental to be in flank. That's fine, but...
Well, I just figured if we're, like, around this thing, like, we wouldn't all be able to be on, like,
How as it stands right now, like all of you we're standing like not surrounding Ivy, but looking at Ivy, like in front of Ivy, or Elizabeth. Sorry, and so like you're not like huddling in, especially since Ghoulran even said he literally stepped away, and presumably, unless Niev is taking attacks of opportunity, Niev had also stepped away.
So yeah, that's true. So only me and the elemental are right up.
Correct. So Niev can summon the elemental, so it's flanking.
Yeah, I would have probably known to do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so but I'm gonna have the elemental attack.
Okay. That will hit.
All right. It needs to also make a reflex save, DC 14.
It's not subject to fire damage in that way. It can't be burned. Okay.
All right. And as for what I'm doing as Niev, she'll be like, I don't suppose anyone prepared to spell magic today, did they?
Not yours, because you turned her back from a human to a bunny.
That's a different spell, Ghoulran.
Oh.
So I'm going to cast Greater Magic Fang on Hunter.
Okay.
And I'm going to have Hunter go for the shadow.
Yeah. That will miss. Shadow uses the shield to block it. Block it again.
Yep. Alright, that's my turn.
That will take us to the shadow. The shadow will glare at Antaeus for a moment and will like sheath the weapon and extend a hand to Antaeus.
I can barely even physically move.
Is it
Like,
trying
I
to
assumed,
perform a touch attack on
Nope,
me?
it's just extending an open hand to Antaeus.
It's trying to get me to get hand to this thing, do it.
Antaeus.
Now, I assume that I have enough mobility to. I don't know what's well, actually, would dispelling anything do anything to it?
It's not magical.
Okay.
Is it evil?
It is evil.
Alright. I can clearly see it's going for Antaeus, right? So.
Yeah, well right now it's like extending a hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and help him next turn. On my turn.
I am going to. Shit.
That's
no,
not
that's not what I'm
particularly
gonna do.
useful in combat.
He's lowering his trousers. What's happening?
Just do what the monkeys do. Throw poo at it.
Would I be able to withdraw?
Yeah, you can move back as quickly as you can.
Yeah, I'll withdraw back as far as I can get.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Ivy.
Oh no, because if I withdraw, I have to only withdraw,
Yep.
right? I can't do anything else. Damn it.
Ivy.
Okay.
Lower on action, maybe.
My rage buffs up, even though it doesn't seem to care about me. But, maybe it'll change its mind. Yeah. Well, just, do the things.
Mhm.
See if I can get a lucky roll. I clicked you. There we go.
That'll hit. You cut into this thing, and your electricity surrounds it. And as it surrounds it, it becomes kind of like claws that drag this thing into your blade.
What the
The
fuck?
shadow disappears.
What the fuck
Oh,
just
fuck.
happened?
Your blade is storing things again.
Oh, that's interesting. He'd said that if maybe her blade has like a crystal or something that can store things.
I mean,
yeah,
we know it can store things. We were told that it has like a compartment to store souls and a compartment to store spells.
Yep.
I know, but
Did
I'm
you store her soul? What are you
I
doing?
was thinking of the
I don't
Arcana text.
know.
Yeah.
I'll run over to Elizabeth and check her pulse and medicate.
She will slowly start to open her eyes and look up to you. And you'll
Busting
hear
little
her
slump in the
utter,
corner.
"Cool run." And then she'll pass back
Elizabeth.
out.
She said my name.
Okay,
God.
cool. Antaeus,
Right.
what the fuck just happened?
Oh, that was a shadow.
Why is it in my weapon? Why are you laying on the ground?
Just in case.
Everything's so heavy.
Physically. Why
Laura,
is this two-dimensional object so
Can
heavy?
you fix him so we can figure out some stuff here?
Do
Do you have the ability to fix him? Can anyone fix him?
I mean, I could tomorrow.
Information, please.
Here,
Oh,
let me
God.
just take this shit. I'm gonna start like pulling things like all of your like gear and stuff off.
My clothes are too heavy. And that's not me trying to get you to take my clothes off. That's the fact that everything is too heavy. This air is too
Why
heavy.
would you assume that we would think that?
I like don't even care right now. I'm gonna keep stripping him until
Yeah.
he will
What
talk
are you
to me
doing?
answers.
You can
I need
get him
answers.
naked, and he will finally have enough
Tell
strength
me answers.
to handle himself.
Yes, I did
The
not
answer
prepare
is
these
you-
spells.
Niev just sort of
Perfect
looks
strength.
appreciatively.
My light load is 6 pounds.
Oh, you could keep the trousers on then.
There you go. You
He
got
still
pants.
pretends
You're
that he's
fine.
straight down. I need help.
Do I still have this thing in my hand?
Yes, it has no discernible weight, and Ivy can't take it out of your hand.
Is my hand still tingling?
Your hand still tingles a little bit, but it's fading.
And it's blunt on both ends, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna start explaining what I know about shadows to them, and I'm gonna try to slowly pierce my hand with it.
It can't pierce your hand.
See, you say it that way, and that sounds like it's something that you're.
Well, because
telling me as a player.
like Ivy's or Elizabeth's hand went through it when she tried to grab it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's true. Oh, that's even more concerning now that I think about that.
I am going to put kids to bed.
Okay. Well, let's take a short break then, and we'll see what happens with this after that.
Ivy, you have children? What? You don't like that.
We're back.
I couldn't necessarily fight back.
I mean, look, I was doing it so you can function again, okay?
Yeah, there's no saving throw on prayer. I'll make you take a +1, whether you like it or not.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Got him. It does say
Goodness.
that as long as someone's friendly in this game, you can just touch them, regardless whether or not they want you to. As long as they're your ally. It says that in the game rules. Regardless of what abilities are on them, you can touch them.
I think it uses different vernacular than that, but
That's pretty word for word.
Yeah. I believe that is literally what Whitney had shown to me in that post, is that as long as they're an ally, you can touch them. So this game does not have good rules about consent.
yes, but I think it's worded a little differently than the way you put it the first time.
So,
I mean, you can do it. It doesn't mean that the person isn't going to get mad at you for doing it. There could still be repercussions, kind of like the real world. You can do it, but there might be repercussions for doing it.
no, there aren't repercussions because they're still treated as your ally.
I can treat someone
Not
as
after
my
that.
ally and be pissed at them. I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, Q still treats him as an out. Never mind. So I'm gonna just try to shove this through my hand.
Whoa.
Yeah, it won't go through your hand.
can you
As
stop
more as a
playing?
demonstration.
Can you stop playing with that item for a quick second and tell me why the fuck that shadow just went into my weapon?
Go on, mind if I borrow your hand real quick?
Stop with the hands!
Why? I'm tending to Elizabeth over here. What are you doing?
Well, Niev,
Here.
Yeah.
What do you
here,
want to do?
I'll
Just do it.
Whose hand are you doing that to?
Whoa.
yes, because
Okay.
I have a feeling that if I do it to Ivy, something very weird will happen.
It'll
Or nothing
phase
will
right
happen.
through Niev's hand.
So it doesn't go through your hand, but it'll go through my hand.
Yes.
And it went through Elizabeth's hand.
Yes.
Probably because you're Mr. Weirdo who doesn't have a shadow. Now, can we get back to why the shadow is in my weapon? Am I just like storing
you-
shadow creatures in here now or something?
Can you commune with your weapon?
It would seem that way.
I've never really figured out totally how to do that.
Have you tried talking to it?
Not in a while.
I had this brilliant idea. Try turning it on and off again. Like you go into rage and then you come off of rage.
That's what I told my brother's girlfriend to do with the dog when she was barking a bunch earlier.
What?
She's like, I think it's
You have a
broken.
brother?
Yeah.
You guys are useless. I'm gonna try to like hold my weapon and see if I can like hear anything from inside. Hello?
Conch shell.
Talk to me. Hello?
Take that from Antaeus. Take that.
I see your mouth moving, but I hear nothing.
Yeah.
Take that from Antaeus. Take it. Take that from Antaeus.
Who is this talking to me?
Take that from Antaeus.
That's not my name.
Is this my mom? Or the shadow creature?
Bring us together.
What?
Bring us together. Take that from Antaeus.
Why? What's it gonna
Bring
do?
us together.
I don't understand.
Bring us together.
I don't understand. I'm not
it
smart. I
say?
need more words.
I don't like this this one-sided conversation I'm hearing, and I'm gonna step away a little bit.
Who is this?
Is this the same thing that Antaeus pulled out of the book before?
Yeah.
The shadow thing? Okay.
So,
Who is this? Who am I talking to?
There's no further response.
there's probably a good reason as to why only shadows could pick this up, and only I could pick this up. And I don't like it. And I
Can
don't
you
like
do
it one bit.
whatever call thing that Candor guy said and ask him? He was trying to tell you something about a shadow.
Call, like a bird call?
Hey,
Call.
He said call him. I don't know if you know how to do that, but
Well, I'm gonna try using dream. I'm assuming that he's referencing like some sort of technology or something, but he didn't leave any kind of way to contact him via call.
you haven't. I mean, have you just tried like going Candor? Candor.
The hell's a candor?
And or No, I haven't until
Yeah.
now.
Well,
But unfortunately, it's the middle of the morning.
yeah.
So, but tonight I will. Tonight I plan on trying to contact him. Actually, I'm also curious. So, what exactly happened before we went to sleep that we remember, Steve?
You all said you were tired. You all agreed that you were tired. And then,
Well-
like, all of you kind of blinked, and then you were waking up in bed.
I didn't explicitly say it, but we went to a break immediately afterwards. But I guess if I was pushed, I would have ultimately ended up saying yes anyways. I'm gonna see if I can try to share my memory
Well,
of.
Just for the record, that spell doesn't need you to say it. It just needs you to admit it inside.
Oh, I don't need. They don't need verbal consent.
They don't need verbal
Oh.
consent.
I don't like this. I feel violated.
Not for that spell.
I'm gonna try to share the 30 seconds before that, because I think it's 1 minute for share memory, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to share the 30 seconds before that, and for the full minute, I'm gonna try to share that with Niev to see if it shows anything other than what we remember. I don't expect anything to happen.
Give me a fortitude save.
Why? I've already taken enough physical damage.
You go unconscious.
What the heck happened to him? I'll rush over to him and
I don't know, but is that item still in his hand?
It is still in his hand.
check him out.
Yeah, you're checking him. He looks like he is fainted due to blunt force trauma.
Blunt force trauma.
Like something just hit him upside the head.
Oh, fuck.
Do I get the idea, like, if I heal him, he would resuscitate, or like, what do I get the?
I mean, that would normally be how you'd resuscitate someone in this situation.
All right, I'll try. I'll just cure light wounds him.
Okay.
Click.
Yeah.
Ah.
Ivy, are you doing anything while Guron is doing this?
You're here to trust that evil shadow? How dare you?
You don't have to touch it. Something
I'm the
else
evil
does.
shadow you're supposed to touch. Or trust. Trust.
I mean, I think I'm gonna get closer to it and look at it.
Okay, so you can get closer to it, but about then, like, Guron will press his hand down, and Antaeus will awaken.
What happened to you?
You feel like something, like, literally punched you square in the center of your forehead.
I'll move a little further away on the ground from Ivy, as she's much closer to me than she was previously.
Yes.
You just fell unconscious. Why are you moving away from me? I'm just checking you out. Jeez. What the hell did you try to do?
Goron was
That
checking
conversation that she was
Goron was
having.
checking him out.
I'm
That
sorry,
Goron-
I can't be concerned for one of my party members just falling on the floor unconscious. Okay, everyone's apparently scared of me now. I guess I'll just back into a corner.
Steve, if I remember correctly, that conversation is not a telepathic one, right? Like the thing from the sword speaks to you in your head, and then, or is it like all mental, right? Or do you speak out loud? So I did hear her having a conversation with herself.
She can talk back, but I this is one of those things where what we assume is that until somebody's really used to talking to a weapon that doesn't talk to them verbally, that your mouth responds audibly until you kind of get the hang of telepathic communication.
I just didn't want to like start assuming that she was that like I should have a reason to move away from her if I didn't see her doing anything weird. So
Let's just all calm down. I'll make us all some tea.
I probably should let you know. I was trying to share the memory of what happened before we went to sleep last night. The 30 seconds before, and then the 30 seconds after. And that's about when I probably fell out.
Oh.
So
You
that's good to
shared
know.
the 30 seconds before, and it was when you hit the end of that you passed out.
So that's concerning, but less so than this item.
Is there any way you can put that item back in the book?
That's a good question. I don't know if I've checked that. I don't think I'll try to put it back in there.
You cannot put it back in the book.
I mean, has anyone stopped to consider that maybe it's not a bad thing giving this item to the shadow? I mean, we know nothing of what this item is, why the shadow wanted it. I mean, shouldn't we do more research before we definitively decide if it's a good or a bad thing?
Well, it's a bad creature, that's what we know. It's identified as evil, and it was attacking us. I mean, I don't think
it was attacking us because it wanted the item. I don't think it would have attacked us if we just handed over the item to it.
And we don't know what that will do, so we.
I know. I'm just saying we should find out what it would do.
I agree. We should probably do more research because we don't want to do another thing without thinking it through or, knowing what we're doing. Perhaps we were a little hasty in mending the shadow.
Antaeus said it was safe.
Antaeus did not say it was safe.
Antaeus implied it was safe.
Very little of the things that I do are safe. I don't know if I would actually imply anything is safe.
I think it would be more accurate to say Goron inferred from Antaeus that it was safe. But
I directly asked him if it was safe, and he said some ambiguous thing that he always says, like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe yes, it's probably okay."
That would be like if I told you to drink these 3 potions, that would be safe. I wouldn't tell you that because that's not how that works. I'll put those potions back safely to not break them on myself because that would be very bad. This probably will hurt quite a bit if I do this, but I could try to reach out and see if I can. We'll use psychometry, I guess, is the easiest way of describing it. Why mince words? And view a moment of the past of this item, but I'm sure this will probably hurt. But it takes a minute, otherwise I would have done it in combat to figure out why it was trying to attack us, so...
Don't do anything that could permanently, hurt you, Antaeus.
Oh, this absolutely will. I'm sure that eventually I can work this damage off, but, psychometry does not come without its consequences. But I'll kind of just set up in the corner for a moment.
What if you do that thing you did to us to protect our minds when we were in the place? Would that help?
That's a very good idea, and I wish I would have thought of it. I should do that. Thank you. I was so excited about the possibility of this. I don't know if this will do anything. Actually, you know what? I have the spells point, so I'll do... I don't know if actually Dream Shield, I think I have to be dreaming. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it.
Okay.
Because I don't know how this functions as a character, so...
Okay.
And then I will spend the minute and do psychometry.
All right. You can enter a trance as you touch this thing. Give me the roll associated with psychometry.
Oh, yeah. I wish I had that up. Which one is that? That's appraise. I'll kind of try to think about Candor. I don't know if it'll do anything functionally, but it seems to be associated with him in some way.
Yeah, so you see... you're looking up from the floor, and you see, this man, a very kind of disheveled and confused young, I guess not man, young boy, older, just outside a teenage era, but also kind of
brown
young.
Hair?
Huh?
Short brown hair?
Well, I mean, you see Candor as the other figure.
Oh, okay. I should let you continue.
The younger, the figure that it looks even younger than him, looks kind of baffled as Candor is doing something, and he takes this round cylinder and puts it up against the head of this young boy, and then kind of shoves it into his head. And as he does so, you hear him say, "I hear Harcourt. I hear my brother." I can hear him.
Oh. He doesn't speak in anime and say their entire name, first name and surname? No? Oh, okay. Let's hope he delivers backstory.
I can't believe I can hear him.
Am I able to look around at all, or is it just like a fixed point of view?
It's a fixed point of view.
Is there anything in the background? Any signs or any?
There's a shadowy arm that has like the shadow version of this thing. That's pressed up against. That is also pressed up against Harcourt's shadow, or whatever. They're not Harcourt's shadow. The person who said Harcourt's
brother
name.
is claiming to be Harcourt's brother.
Yes.
Nothing that would geographically or that would be like.
No, it's a relatively nondescript room. There are a couple of other people, like one person wearing like a suit of armor, and a symbol of some kind of deity. There is another person who looks like really hulking, and is a woman who's kind of like looking on concerned. But yeah.
That symbol, is it one I recognize?
Give me a knowledge religion.
Shot. What's a shot? I don't know. I'm just hoping.
Very well could be.
Okay. It is
All
a
the
symbol of
19s.
Ganthet.
Ganthet?
Yes.
I'm surprised I even know what that is.
His armor is shining cleanly. It's about this point that like normally the vision would end. But you do not feel the vision end. You feel a bit of freedom for a moment. You can look around the area. You almost feel like you could move around the area.
I will try to... I'm assuming I'm flat back, probably.
Yeah.
Or I'm something to that effect. I would try to sit up, I guess.
You cannot sit up.
Okay. I'll try to go vertically?
You cannot go vertically.
Horizontally.
You can go horizontally, and as you go horizontally, you reach a wall. And if you keep going horizontally, you go up the wall.
Okay. I suppose I will do that until I get... I guess I would try to get a vantage point from directly above where I was at.
Okay. You can look down on it. There are two other figures that are there as well. There is another kind of larger man there, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Who am I forgetting?
Probably a rogue type.
Oh no, that's all 5. I've accounted for all 5. Sorry.
Oh, Candor, the small, what looks to be a child, the hulking woman, the person in the Ganthet armor.
Yeah.
And then the new person.
Yeah, he doesn't look to be a child. He looks adult, but he's young faced, like somebody who's probably in their late teens.
Gotcha.
They're very late teens.
And then the new person that I just saw.
Yeah, they are also female. And they are quite large.
Is that the position from where I was previously? Like
you're now like looking over and above, and this other person is like off to Candor's side.
Okay, if I look to where I assume where I was at on like the ground, do I see anything, or is it
you see a long shadow kind of stretched into a pile of shadows? Because like everybody's shadow is kind of casting over everybody else.
Oh, like so. There's
the way the light is coming from an angle, and all the shadows kind of bleed over onto each other. But give me a perception.
Okay.
I think 50 episodes is enough to give this to you. You see your shadow stretching around the ceiling, down, and resting at the feet of Candor Ra Savant.
And I'm still stuck in this. Wait, my shit.
You are the shadow.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Not to Antaeus, it doesn't. I'm sure to Candor, it makes lots of sense.
I'm gonna look at my shadow watch and see how long I've been in this form.
Shadow.
There is no time passing right now.
Is anybody moving?
No.
So things with the duration. The duration has to physically end for the spell to end, probably.
We'll
correct?
come back to you.
Oh.
The other three of you watch as Antaeus does his thing. And then
Does he just look like
Antaeus...
he's meditating? Or?
He looks like he's meditating. And then like a
singing
few
bowl.
minutes pass. And Antaeus is still meditating.
What do you think, guys? Should we try to wake him up? Or is it like
How
a
long has it
sleepwalker?
I think he needs a little more time. I don't know how long this usually takes.
He's done this a couple other times. How long has it normally took in the past?
I don't know. Has anyone watched him do this?
I don't have an accurate timepiece.
I mean, it usually hasn't taken very long. Like, he kind of just does it, and he's, like, kind of out of it for, like, I don't know, 10 seconds or something, and then comes back, right?
Just for the record, I have
Usually it
those
doesn't
daily.
take that long.
I usually have those daily spells cast on him, and one of those is status.
Mhm.
Is anything pinging off? Like, I guess I only get mechanical statuses.
Yeah, do you get asleep?
Actually, let me check.
I don't remember if it gives you conscious or unconscious.
Not sure. Status. You get.
He is
any
unharmed.
conditions- Wounded, disabled, staggered, unconscious.
He is unharmed and unconscious.
Okay.
We could probably say he's not like mechanically confused, but he is confused. And I'll go with stunned, I think, right? Stunned.
I'm getting a lot of strange statuses from him at the moment.
Should we try to see if we can wake him up,
I'll
I
have
guess?
Hunter go over and like start licking his hand.
Yeah, he's just like
Does
like
anyone have
a
any-
like a coma patient.
Does anyone have any knowledge if it's dangerous to awaken him from this state?
I don't know. That's what I was asking. If it's
I mean, I have
just-
a pretty good idea of how to awaken him from this state.
But I'm asking if it's dangerous, not how to.
I'm pretty sure I know probably a non-dangerous way to wake him.
Oh.
what are you proposing?
Wait, that's not an implication, right? You're saying it's safe?
God.
I'm saying I think it will probably
Oh, you
be
people.
safe.
Don't,
I don't
give me
know
a straight answer.
everything.
Well, if you're saying it's safe, I say go ahead.
What are
This-
you proposing, Ivy?
Whatever is happening to him, I'm pretty sure is related to that shadow item, and whatever is in my weapon wants that shadow item.
We just agreed we were going to do research on that.
Yeah, but what if our researcher can't wake up?
Well, I'm saying if you think it's safe to wake him up, and not implying it and saying it.
How are you going to wake him up?
Well, I see he's unconscious. I could throw some healing magic his way, give him
Sure,
some...
try.
All right, don't be so dismissive with your tone.
I don't think it's going to work.
Well, not with that attitude.
Goran, spend the spell points.
Ugh.
Nothing happens.
Any other bright ideas?
Antaeus, in the place where you're at, you feel a warm, fuzzy feeling for a moment.
Does his hand feel wet also?
No.
Damn.
Oh, from the...
From Hunter licking.
Does it feel like the healing magic?
Yes,
Or, I
it's
mean,
this
okay.
familiar sensation of being healed.
Well,
Which, strangely in this form, feels a bit painful for a moment. There's a cool, warm sensation, but like more like the feeling of like when you drink like a good scotch or whiskey, that just kind of like it's warm but also a bit burning.
And, is nobody? You said nobody's moving in the here.
No one is moving yet, but we're gonna go back to everybody else. I just wanted to give you that little bit.
I'm going to try creating water and splashing him with it.
Yeah. No effect. He won't feel it in the other place though.
No, I'm
If
still wet.
if I put his hand in a glass of warm water,
Oh,
It will have no effect
Pants.
because he's not asleep per se.
I got another idea.
Right, go for it.
Let's see what's really going on. Cast another glimpse of truth.
Ooh.
Sanity damage.
You're a bold kid, Arnold.
Let me see. Oh, you guys are making me think up how these things would work interacting with each other.
God damn it, I'm trying to steal this thing and make her a weapon evil.
I don't know how else to wake you up. I don't think there's any other way we're gonna wake you up.
Gulran, you see that Antaeus is no longer there with the glimpse of truth on, and instead, a shadow that it looks like Antaeus is sitting there with a with this object like resting in its hand.
So the shadow is discernible that it doesn't look like Antaeus?
The shadow looks like Antaeus.
It
is Antaeus' shadow, but you don't see Antaeus. You just see like a black shadow of Antaeus there that's coming from literally nothing.
What does this mean? When I saw things as they truly were, I saw him as just a shadowy figure.
Could I try and pull his hands apart to see if he drops the shadowy thing?
He's only got it in one hand.
Oh, okay.
The other hand was like reaching down to touch it, so...
I'm just saying, could I move his hand to where he drops it?
You can like turn his hand so it will drop the object, and the object will drop to the ground.
And does anything change?
No.
Let's see.
But I need to pause you there because you finally did one of the key trigger elements.
Oh goodness.
Antaeus, the figure of Candor, looks up at you. Oh, you're still here? Weird. You were supposed to still be here, but I didn't expect you to still be here. I thought maybe you'd leave. It's weird. When things are myself, I don't always get the right vision.
Is this what it's like being able to hear everything that you say? Can I'm going to try to say that. I don't know if I have.
You can say it. Yes. Yes, it is. I guess.
Why am I here? Why am I still here? I should be gone. Why is nobody moving?
Yes. You cast a concoction of spells, and you kind of knew you were going to do something different, didn't you?
Yes.
And so you did something different.
How do I get back?
Oh, you'll get back.
I have that weird shadow thing that you told me to do something with.
Do you know your levels yet? Have you found the other books?
What other books?
The handbook.
No. What handbook?
For players?
No, we found a dragon one.
A dragon book?
Well, I don't know if it was a dragon book. It was the one that was in the lair with the fire dwarf.
Oh, yes. Thoth hates that book.
Yes, Thoth does hate that book.
It's almost like my bestiary, but not quite. My bestiary is better. Though I liked it better when I called it the Monster Manual, but updates, updates.
What is that book?
It is a book of ancient creatures that Thoth has tried to keep secret for a long time. However, it was protected, like dragons.
Just saw another one.
You broke the oath by now, didn't you? Or the agreement. Yes.
I mean, Pyre initiated it, but yes.
Okay, good. So what I foretold is true, but I foretold it here. If you're there, then you're in timeline W, I think. Or X. I don't know. I'm losing track. Where I'm at now, I think this is D. He like reaches into his vest and pulls out like this big, like this small piece of paper that unfolds in this much larger piece of paper, and it's got like a bunch of letters at the top, and it's got like a bunch of numbers across one side and a bunch of numbers across the other, and then a bunch more letters across the bottom, and a bunch of lines that just like go all over the place. And he says, okay, I'm here, but my visions when I'm here, and he points to another place, show me visions of here, and he points to another place. But we're far.
Is my name on any of these, or is
your name is not there, but there's where he's pointing to seems like a very specific spot. They all get to roughly the same point, and then it goes wrong enough.
What's the shadow thing? That's what I'm trying to figure out. The shadow item, the two-dimensional one.
Oh, you have the other copy of this. That's how you're right. That's how you're here.
Yes, Elizabeth tried to grab that. Her shadow presumably tried to grab that from me.
Right.
from Levi.
This allows people to remember their other selves.
What the hell does that mean?
If they were someone else, they remember part of that person. They almost become part of that person. They sort of like live in a hybrid state.
Is this like the necklace thing with Brianna and Niev?
Necklace thing? Oh, yes, Rememories. Sort of. Not Rememories, the other one. Anyway, yes, similar. Similar, very similar.
If I tell you this stuff, are you going to remember this, or is this a different version of you that's not going to remember this? What's happening?
This is the part I'm confused about, because I'm having a vision where I know that you're trapped here. And I know that I can communicate with you, but I can only communicate with you because I saw a vision of me doing this to Carver. And when I saw that vision of me doing this to Carver, I specifically also saw this time, and that's what we're in right now, is the vision of that.
Brother of Harvest?
Brother of Harcourt.
Harcourt, sorry.
Yes.
Brother of Harcourt?
Yes. And the other one.
Who are the... I don't... Is that
the Harvests.
Wait, like the...
Grandson of Roderick?
Wait, like the one that's the... No, is he not a general? The one that gave me the book. Reginald. Hearing a voice
James gave you the book.
Right. In this timeline, you're supposed to be me there. But you're not me there now. You're Shadow there. Oh, you're my Shadow. Shit. I'm not supposed to be telling you these things.
Oh, no, I kind of figured it out already when the thing wouldn't go through my hand, but it went through other people's hands.
Yes,
so I figured it out about 30 seconds ago. Well,
but so you haven't figured out what it means yet?
No.
Okay.
What, you want me to shove this in somebody's head?
No. What you can do that but you need to shove it in their Shadow's head.
And that's okay to do.
It's interesting. Is the Shadow still attached?
We, I think, got rid of the one Shadow that was attached to Elizabeth, and then she said Gulron's Elizabeth.
Who are you? Sorry, I'm confused now. I don't know what you have going on in your personal life right now. I only know what I know right now. And what I know right now is that you're here looking for an answer to why you're a Shadow and how this object works.
Yes.
The Shadow version, which I'm assuming you have, because I had the original originally, and the original is still in a different place. Well, actually, it's in a different time. Correct. No, different timeline.
Do you know where Levi is? Do you know about the asylum?
Yes. Well, in my timeline, they're going to go to Levi, and in Levi, they'll get locked up for a little while. But they'll be broken out because no one wants them snooping around.
We snooped around. We went back and got our friend from there. I released her from the Arcana attack, I think. And then we brought her back. Our cleric tried to reach out to her. Her shadowy eyes and shadow hand tried to reach for this item. It attacked me. I fell over. Dealt a lot of not physical damage, strength damage probably. I felt much weaker physically.
Oh, that's bad.
And then, yes, I collapsed. It felt like even carrying more than a few pounds.
Where's the Shadow now?
I think it's gone. That one, anyways. She woke up briefly.
You know
and
it's
said,
in my weapon. I've literally
asked
a million times. Why is it in my weapon?
Yes, it's in the weapon, the sword, the Ivy sword, Ivy Phelps.
Wait, you have a Shadow Collector or something? It ate the Shadow.
Yes, it's stored in one of the compartments, I think. Or at least that's what the guy from the one city told us, I think. Guido, maybe?
Has it done this before?
When we fought the other Shadow, did it went in there afterwards, or?
It did. Yep.
It went into the, yes, she fought a much bigger Shadow, and it went in there.
If in any way, whatever this thing is, that whoever this is that's carrying this weapon gets mind controlled at all, run as fast as you can in whatever direction you can. Don't let that person get the book.
Okay.
I need you to get the book back to me successfully because I probably don't have it if you have it.
I'm in Sierra Savant. I have no idea how to do that.
I
can dream it
don't
to
know
you.
where I am. No, you can't dream a book to someone.
You're in Mirashad. Are we in Mirashad?
Why am I in Mirashad? I should be in RA4. I should be in Akunsant right now.
Well, I assume you're in Mirashad.
Well,
I use dream to communicate.
I don't know what is happening in your time. There's so many questions I need answered.
Well,
if I can know what's happening in your timeline, maybe I can get ahead of it in that timeline before we get there.
How do we get out of Sierra Savant to get to wherever you're at? The barrier is up. I can contact you through dreams, and that's about it. You scryed on me.
The tunnels.
The tunnels?
There is a tunnel in a small building just outside of the capital, just on the outskirts of the lake.
Of Knightsbridge?
Of the river. No, the capital.
The capital is the middle city that we went into that one time.
Just outside of there.
Arcana
You'll
city.
find a house. It used to be the headquarters of R4. If you can find that house, you'll find a place nearby that has a tunnel that goes underground and directly to Akunsan.
Is it safe?
No, not at all.
One tunnel?
There's a creature down there that if you fight it, will probably kill you, and if you try to teleport past it, it will teleport with you.
How do we get away from it?
Survive. Kill it. Are you strong enough? Maybe you can kill it now.
What?
If you're strong enough, you can kill it.
I don't even know what that means.
What's the strongest thing you've killed so far?
We fought the dragon.
That shadow creature actually
that
might have
shadow
been
creature was
that
probably stronger, yeah.
Was a
Nightshade
or shadow walker or something. Night walker, shade walker, nightshade, I don't know, something along those lines.
Well, then I think
Like
maybe
a
you
16.
maybe you would stand a chance. You might be able to do it. If you can get the book back to me in that timeline, it might be good. But you'd also have to then get out of Akunsan.
Where's that?
It's in RA4.
How do we get out of? But how would we even?
You get to the tunnel. You take the tunnel. You get to Akunsant. You'll come up the other side. I think the goblins are probably in control of that section. I hope the goblins are in control of that section. If it's Blade, you're in trouble. What?
What's the thing that's in the tunnel? Blade.
Yes.
What is that, like a comic book character?
No, family. It's fine.
Oh.
But you get through the tunnel. I don't remember what the thing is called. But you defeat that. You get to the other side of the tunnel. You come out. You'll have some like tunnels that you might get lost in. Be careful. It's very messy over there. And then you can come out into Akunsant. And then, if you can find a way out of Akunsant, then you can find a way out of RA4. And if you can find a way out of RA4, you can get to Mirashad.
Be careful. It's messy down there. That doesn't explain how to get out of there.
There's lots of monsters and lots of like routes. I didn't go this way. I went the other way when I went down. And it wasn't me. It was like be me.
Like the animal?
No, like timeline be me.
Like the paper that you're pointing at?
Yes.
I don't know what the fuck that is, or I don't know what the hell that is.
All right, I'm gonna cut back to the party. The object drops to the ground.
All right, anyone got any other bright ideas before I try to see if me interacting with this thing will wake him up?
I really am uncomfortable with you interacting with it. I don't know. The fact that it was wanting it kind of makes me uncomfortable.
Just because something wants something doesn't mean it's inherently evil. I want to lift the curse off of me. I want a lot of things. It doesn't make
Well,
me
we
bad.
already decided it's inherently evil, so get past that point.
Sure, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it needs it for some reason. Maybe it was, I don't know.
Maybe an evil creature needs something really badly for a good reason.
Do you guys have any other ideas of how to wake him up? This has taken like a really long time. He's still out of it.
I mean,
this has been less than an hour, so let's calm down. We can try to figure this out. Let's try. We have some more magic at our disposal to try.
Not only that, but we can also try and, memorize other spells tomorrow and perhaps figure it out if he's not back
You
by
want to
tomorrow.
just leave him in this state.
Well, he doesn't seem like he's being hurt.
I would get a notification if he was in trouble with his status.
I'm gonna try to talk to my blade again, and this time I don't know if I can, but I'm gonna really try hard to do it in my mind.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to be like, if I pick this item up, will my friend wake up?
Wake us. We need to wake up.
How do I wake you up?
Touch the item to your weapon. And touch the weapon to your head.
What the fuck?
Like Kurt Cobain.
Well, just having this convo, I'm going to try protection from evil on Inteus and see if something's messing with him.
No! God damn it, Gulran.
But remember, we just learned that this might make you feel uncomfortable. But
This second effect only functions against spells and effects created by evil. Third, the spell prevents bodily contact. Blah, blah, blah.
the trapping thing in, we decided you had to specifically be trying to trap them.
I mean, I don't think any character know he's evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would.
So I'm just trying to protect him from any, if something's like messing with his mind or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you can cast it on him. You wouldn't notice anything happen anyway, so.
So yeah, he doesn't wake up.
Nope.
Well, that didn't work.
You can trust us. You can trust.
How do I know I can trust you?
We're here to make you better.
Better how? Is anything bad gonna happen if I do this?
Whatever you want can happen if you do this.
Whatever I want, I want nothing bad to happen, and I want my friend to wake up.
Let us free. We can
Let
help.
Let you free? I thought I
Yes.
was supposed to just wake
Let us
you up.
help. Wake us up.
Who are you? Is this my mom? Or my dad? Or the weird
It's
shadows?
us.
Everyone?
Everyone.
But I don't understand how you're gonna help. Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. You can touch him. Antaeus, in the dream, or in the vision, you will fear an emboldening sense of duty, and responsibility.
What is this weird sensation I'm feeling?
Well, that's all I can think of.
I have other things I can try tomorrow if he doesn't wake up.
The voices grow a bit quiet after Gulran uses that ability.
After he uses the honor bound ability?
That's a touch spell on Inteus. I don't know if that matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been kind of going quiet anyway after a little bit of talking to them. So
Yeah, they don't seem to talk for very long until they fade out.
Well, he seems stable. I have status on him. I think we could leave him for a night and, as Niev said, change our spells up to see if we can fix him, help him.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we
if
don't know
he-
how long this will take, but, I can, make sure that I keep a little bit of, water in his mouth or something so that he can stay hydrated.
I can't remember. Can you keep watch? Can you make us keep watch?
Yeah, actually.
Because if you could let me stay up, I could make sure my status would ping if he's in danger, and I can.
Oh, I don't have that prepared today, actually, because.
Well, I could literally just force myself to stay up. I won't be able to change my spells, though.
I think
The only thing I would do is try to detect his thoughts, and so unless you have something more.
Well, that's what I was going to prepare for tomorrow. Was detect thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, we have similar spells. If you could prepare detect thoughts, maybe dispel a magic, maybe you can dispel him from whatever spells he's under.
If you're not going to try anything else, there's only one question I really have left. And that is, Ivy, what do you do? Unless there's something do you guys have anything specific you want to try?
Oh, actually, I don't. I
Double
can't do
checking my
detect
spells.
thoughts.
Ivy kind of wants to wait till people are distracted, and then she wants to do what the weapon
I mean,
voices told her.
we're kind of like talking about spell selection, so I mean, we're somewhat distracted.
Yeah, so I mean, I think if they seem like they're a little distracted talking about
You can
spells,
detect thoughts.
I'm gonna do what it said. I'm gonna
You put
try to subtly put my blade to the item and then touch it to my head.
Okay. You will do this, and one of the things you'll notice as you do this, you'll kind of go over while they're distracted, pick up the item, move back over, and you'll notice that you can also pick up the item. Like it's in your hand, but your shadow kind of coalesces at the same point your fingers are, which doesn't make sense with the way the light is looking. And you both can both of those things can put it up against the blade and the shadow of the blade that's also there. And you can lower your head down, and your shadow will kind of meet with it. And as it does so, I am going to need a will save from Ivy.
Perception checks.
Whoa.
Very good. But what happens is not a story for the rest of today. Good night, everyone.
Oh my god.